hard. Talking and having people listen to you is a hard thing. Have you not figured that out by
No,
now?
no.
No? You're good with it?
Where's
Fun
the icon for me following the channel?
the icon for following the channel. Oh, it's
No, I already followed it, but it's like, why aren't you? Oh,
why aren't you
gotcha.
just saying that it's fun? I don't know. Twitch is weird. Twitch is weird like that. Twitch was having a fun thing. Did you hear about the whole thing with Ninja?
You really need to get a better rig.
I have a better mic.
I said a rig.
Oh, my better rig? No, for some reason it's just that the internet connection is just weird. I don't know why. I don't know
So,
why. My Wi-Fi network's pretty good, but it gets weird for all of a second. But no, I was asking if you had heard about the whole thing with Ninja.
sort of. I just don't really care about him, so
That's fair.
I didn't really read it.
No, he signed an exclusive deal with Mixer,
Yeah, that.
so
I was like, cool. I don't care. Why would he do that? Like,
I'm guessing a whole like I'm guessing that Mixer gave him one of those comic bag of monies with the dollar sign on the side and was like, "Here, come to."
yeah, but isn't he already making like millions of dollars where he was?
Yeah. So you can only imagine what they would have to pay him to change over.
Do we think that all of his um followers are going to follow him to where he's going?
Well, that is the literal $1 million question, isn't it?
Because I highly doubt that's going to happen.
I don't know. I mean, if you think about it, though, Mixer is doing essentially the same thing that like Epic Game Store is doing. They're trying to get exclusive content that they think is going to justify the big price tag that they're putting on it. You know, it's
I
it's
mean,
it's kind of the same thing. I don't know if it really bears out. They're making a power move, I'm sure, to be
it's
a
kind of
competitor
like
anymore.
all the different streaming services being like, hey, we've got exclusives. Look at all these things that we've got: Netflix
Yeah,
exclusives, Amazon
but
Prime
but
exclusives.
I can't have
Um,
all of them.
and that's it's the reason that people just pick one and then
Yeah,
pirate things.
right. Yeah, that's the rise of piracy in the modern era. Um, because a lot of people they were having a whole thing where people do not know like how much they pay for all of their subscriptions every month.
I know how much I pay for my subscriptions every
Zero.
month.
I know you pay zero, but but if you're getting different kinds of subs and stuff, most people don't know how much they pay on a monthly basis for any of it.
That's because most no, that's because you don't need to know. You just need to pay things. That's
Yeah,
all you need to do is just pay things.
you just pay for everything,
Yep.
and then you're
Just pay
in
all the
creation.
money. Just give them all your wallets.
Yeah, it doesn't matter if we eat. You
Who needs to eat?
who needs to eat when you can Netflix and chill?
There's
Um,
no chill. It's just Netflix.
it's just a Netflix.
There's only Zool.
This is a no chill zone.
Yeah,
Netflix.
Netflix is a no chill zone.
Oh, anyway. Oh, by the way, hi everybody. Welcome to the show. Uh,
Yay! Oh, right.
yay.
Yeah. Apparently, we're doing a thing.
We are doing a thing. We're doing a thing. We've been doing a thing for a few minutes now.
The
Uh,
thingy thing.
yes. Thank you for joining us. Right now, just me and Alex hanging out. Although
Did you
I
just
think,
say me and Alex?
yeah, me and Alex. Is that inaccurate? It's me and it's
It's
you.
Alex and I.
Alex and I are hanging out. But see, the problem is,
We're really getting in on those semantics.
but here's the problem. If I say Alex and I are hanging out, it should reduce down where it's just I am hanging out, right?
Are you hanging out?
But it would be I are hanging out.
I in IRL.
IRL. IRL hanging out.
In real life hanging out? No, I don't think we're doing that.
No. No. Yeah. So, video. I don't want to download a video.
You want to download the videos.
I don't know why I want to download a video. For some reason, Twitch was like, you can't download this video. Like, I'm not trying to download a video. Why would you think I'd be wanting to try to do that right now? But anyway, that is neither here nor there. Want to say hello to all of the lovely folks who may be at GenCon this weekend.
I'm not sure if the people at GenCon are watching our
Nope.
stream. They're probably all gaming still.
If you are watching this later and you were at GenCon, good for you. If you, however, are watching this more likely and were not at GenCon, also good. because we also are not at GenCon. We are GenCant. We're GenCant this year, as we are every year.
Yeah, pretty much. We don't really make enough money to be able to take the trip and time off to go to things like GenCon.
Moreover, we don't have like the excuse to do it. Like if somebody was like, "Hey, here's a thing you can do while you're here." There's like an actual function that I serve while I'm at GenCon. I'd be like, "Oh, now I have a reason to go." But I have not had such a reason yet, where I'm actively going to, and the reason that's a song. But I mean, the reason is you, Alex. I do believe that the reason is always you.
That's unfortunate for all the people involved.
Yeah, no one really wants that. But, good news, everyone. Although we are not at GenCon, we do happen to have a certain person on the inside that gave me a little bit of an insight about stuff that is at GenCon, and that is
just one person on the inside.
There are probably other people, but they haven't told me anything. Actually, I know a lot of people that are at GenCon. I just don't think that they haven't really told me much that's going on. Probably because they're too busy being GenCon-y about it right now. Because there's like a whole thing, like Andy was going to be at GenCon, and her thing was, there's basically it's like before GenCon and after GenCon are pretty much how she looks at things now. Like, everything that I need to do is pretty much a post-GenCon world for me. Right now, I just got to prep on that. So, that's the reason why I know I haven't heard from her pretty much since she had to get into GenCon mode. No, actually, our voice on the inside, and this will probably surprise absolutely no one, is DC Lasser, the Hatamancer himself. And
the mod of mods.
The mod of mods, the mod of everything. Who was very
new title? It's the Modomancer.
The Modomancer, yeah. He's like no. It's the Hatomoder. That's perfect. The Hatomoder is going to be your new thing. I hope you enjoy that title. Yes.
The Modder Hatter.
Yes.
I don't think he'll appreciate any of these things.
No, he's not going to take them. He had told me about a few different things that were happening, and then he did leave a message just making sure that I say opinions are my own and do not represent those of any party I may work for, just in case.
Well, I mean,
but
that's fair. He does do a lot of those.
It is fair, and we don't want to get him into any kind of trouble. But also, I don't think you're in a lot of trouble if you're just telling me about a thing that you saw. But in case, we're covering our bases tonight. We want to at least do that. So the big thing that he was talking about that you may be interested in, I don't know how you're going to feel about this, but the big reveal on Thursday, so really, kicking things off, was the actual world premiere of Pathfinder 2.
Yes, I've heard a lot of things about that so far, I guess.
Yeah? What have you heard about it? Because I've been reading a couple things, but I don't know much about the original Pathfinder, so I don't know what to...
Apparently people are not happy with the character sheet.
Not happy with the character sheet. Oh,
That's the one big thing I've heard.
interesting. Okay. Okay. Um, I mean, character sheet, like the and now I'm kind of curious. I want to see a character sheet. Maybe I can find one. But the thing about it is it that the character sheet is just laid out weird, or it's how you actually build your character?
I didn't really look into it that much because if I wanted to play Pathfinder, I would just play Dungeons and Dragons 3.5.
Well, that was the original Pathfinder.
Yeah, well,
2E is a different animal altogether.
yeah, well, they already changed 3.5 up, so why would I need another different version of 3.5?
Well, there's a good question. So I was looking a little bit at what they were talking about with Pathfinder 2E, and this is the one big thing is that it over like a D&D 5e or anything else, there's still a much
I did not catch any of that because it broke up entirely.
well, at a certain point it's not my fault. I
Well, at a certain point, it's still gonna be blamed on you.
once I can fix that. One second. Okay, how about now? Now I should be in good shape.
Sure.
Yeah. No, my latency was weird, but I think I fixed it now. So the one thing I was looking at was that for Pathfinder 2E, what they do is they're still looking at a much more tactical layout than Dungeons and Dragons. Even if you're looking at 5e, like if you were to take a dungeon crawl, it's going to be a lot longer to actually clear out that dungeon if you're using a Pathfinder 2E because of the way that the tactical aspects of it work. They've made the action system so that you can you basically do 3 actions on your turn.
Okay.
Yay.
You could kind of do that in D&D as is.
You could kind of do that. The way that it's made is that actions could include drawing your sword, casting a spell, yelling something to someone in your party. But then they have it laid out as single action, 2 action activities, and 3 action activities as well.
Yeah,
So
they already did that in D&D. It's called standard action, free action, and move action.
they also have reaction and free actions listed though.
Those are also things that have existed.
They
I don't
also
see
have
what
that.
they're doing. That is, they can name it different things, but it's already being done.
All right, fair enough. But at any rate, this was the big reveal essentially for Thursday. Right out of the gate was to announce this. This was Paizo's big thing. It's been over a decade since the original Pathfinder.
Oh, it's been even longer since 3.5's been out, so
Yeah.
good luck having not done anything with the system since then, guys.
It's I know it's a hard sell. It's a hard sell. Well, it's a hard sell for almost anything if you're coming up against D&D. That's a hard dragon to slay, quite literally. It's a hard dragon to slay. Um, I got the impression people that did see the book are interested about its prospects, but they didn't right out say that, oh, this is great. It's just that the idea has a lot of merit. What it's done, but that it is dynamic. That is definitely different in its structure than a D&D itself. Because otherwise, yeah, why wouldn't I just say well, I already have D&D, so why would I bother? You have to differentiate it somehow. But how much Pathfinder did you play? Have you played it at all?
I've played very little of it.
Yeah.
Again, I saw no reason to.
Right. I was always kind of interested. I know that when James pops in, he's familiar with Pathfinder. He's played a bunch in it, but I was always kind of wondering what the draw was as opposed to just using D&D, since they were very similar when it originally came out. But I guess there are some other races and stuff you can play. You can have the rat folk and stuff, right?
Well, yeah, I mean, they added racism, some class stuff,
Yeah, yeah.
which is neat.
Yeah, I mean that's cool because you expand out the lore and the character design. I just I mechanically I need to see it be different. That's all.
Um, kind of.
Yeah.
Here's the thing about making it more tactical.
Mhm.
That just takes up more time.
It that is true, and that kind of makes me think about like the old school wargaming sort of strat, like the way that it was originally, where it was more tactics based, like where D&D was a lot more tactics based. And I feel like the reason why over the course of time up to 5th edition they've been trying to streamline it so that it's not quite so, in the weeds is because people got bored doing that. It was too much. And so when you say that, like, well, we're going to have a more tactical system, I'm kind of like, I don't know if there's a huge market for that anymore. Because it feels like the market has
Depends.
spoken and said, actually, it would be great if we streamlined this.
It really depends on where your tactics fall and what they come out from.
Okay.
Because you can have tactical as long as I'm not sure if you said anything.
I didn't. I didn't say anything.
Okay.
I didn't. Um, I was just making sure you had finished your thought.
Oh, okay.
You had finished your thought. Okay. You actually cut out for me for a minute there. See, we can both cut out for each other. It's like
Nope.
a
Unacceptable. Gotta kill everybody now.
unacceptable. Um,
Everybody.
yeah, I mean, free action and reaction and actions are stuff that I am used to from 5e. I am kind of curious as to the idea of like a triple action kind of scenario where you have certain things that take up three of those, two of those, or a single one, just because that is more detailed as a system. I just don't know if I needed it to be.
Well, you know.
Some people like
You'll.
it, I, I'm sure, but uh, yeah. But at any rate, GenCon.
Yeah.
There's the Pathfinder 2e big announcement. DC did have some other interesting things that were coming out that he wanted to
Didn't
alert me
they
to.
already do Starfinder too? Wasn't that just Pathfinder in space?
Oh, was it? I'm not familiar with Starfinder, to be honest with you, but that sounds right. Was that based off of D&D 2, or would it be based off of something else? Would it be based off of
I
like,
assumed it was
yeah,
based off.
okay, yeah, so like using the D&D system, but it's in space, essentially. All right.
Could be wrong.
Yeah, because I'm not super familiar with it. A part of me is like, well, if you wanted to do that, didn't like Edge of Empire basically kind of do a system that's set in space with the Star Wars?
That's Star Wars, though.
It's Star Wars, but you don't have to really make it Star Wars if you don't want. Or
No, because the system is different too. I mean,
yeah, the system is different. It's significantly different. It's actually what Genesis originated as. Because when Final Fantasy Flight came out with the Genesis system like last
Final
year,
Fantasy Flight.
Final Fantasy Flight, yeah, when Final Fantasy Flight came out with Genesis system, the Genesis like story dice system was apparently based off of like what they did with Edge of Empire and the other stuff that they were doing. But they wanted to decentralize it so it wasn't just about Star Wars. It was something that you could apply to everything. Um, but then again, if you're looking for something that was like a traditional D&D, but then they set it in space and it was Star Wars related, you could look at KOTOR because that was literally that.
That was a D6 system.
Uh, yeah, it was very close to D&D in terms of the way it would. Well, no, actually, in order to hit, the 2 hit was actually D20s
Yes,
because
but everything else was D6.
Yeah, but they were using a D20 system for hitting ratios, so
Yes.
they were keeping that.
Apparently.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, because it even said it when you were like going to hit with weapons, like you crit on a 1 to 20, or you crit on a 20, and then if you get like ultra crits, it would be for a 19 or 20 or stuff like that.
Depending on your.
You would also get bonuses, so yeah, so that would factor in. But I mean, it feels very much like and I have a feeling that it was because BioWare had worked on D&D properties before, so they were very familiar with that kind of a system. There were definitely a few differences, but it's very similar in how it actually judges damage and calculates all of that for RNG.
Yeah.
Um, but and I mean, people like KOTOR, right? I hear that that's a popular thing, that the people like the KOTORs. So other things. Uh, oh, Alex, you're gonna be so thrilled about this.
I am. I'm
You're get
thrilled already.
you're thrilled already. Okay, DC, let me know that there is a Dream Daddy comic book, and that is a real thing. In fact, I will make sure that I get a link so that you know that this is a real thing. Now, for the record, I have never attempted to play Dream Daddy, but the thing is that I never attempted to play Dream Daddy because it unfortunately is not on a Mac, and oh no, whatever. Hey, Paul, how are you?
Surprisingly sober.
What? None of that is acceptable.
All right, bourbon it is.
Yeah,
Bourbon it is.
bourbon it is. Well, you have to live up to your moniker. Isn't that like
You do.
required? Yeah.
It's not
It-
required,
it's
but
le-
it's expected.
It's contractually obligated.
Oh my goodness.
Oh, damn.
Not
Oh,
with
we
you,
said-
Pete.
Oh, okay. I was gonna say we don't make
With
money.
Discord.
Oh, Discord. Discord requires you be drunk to use it.
Oh, that
Good
makes
job.
so much more sense.
It would also explain the latency spikes in Discord.
Yes, it would certainly
Yep.
explain that. Because it's given me the troubles this tonight apparently. It doesn't like me.
It's give-
Let's see. I'm going to try something. There we go.
How are you tonight, drunken Paul?
Doing well. Got to run a ring wedding sort of ceremony.
To do what now?
Run a ring wedding ceremony tomorrow.
Oh, okay. So it's not. It's a ring ceremony more than a wedding, I guess. Then?
Yeah. So the couple is technically married already. In fact, I'm the one who married them, but
Oh.
no one was really able to attend just due to timing. So
Oh.
bring the
I didn't know
family
you could marry people.
in the state of New Hampshire.
Well, you're justice of the peace. Did not know that.
Nice.
Entertaining.
Or a priest, either one.
Technically a priest.
Technically, is it of the Church of Dudology, whichever that one is?
Universal Life Church, it turns out. It's the ones where
Oh.
you can just go, hey, can you guys send me a document that says I'm part of your church? They go, here you go.
Nice.
That was
See?
surprisingly easy.
Two of my sisters. I have two sisters. Both of them
And
are
two of
justices
them.
the peace.
All
Two
two of them.
Two of
I
your
have
two
two of them,
sisters.
and two of them are JPs.
There you go.
I think
J-
Nathan knew that. New Hampshire
JP
is
is
fun like that.
It
You don't
is.
even need a witness in New Hampshire, do you?
I don't remember. You don't need
Well-
anyone else to sign it, so technically no.
Okay.
I think
I was
we
gonna say,
should
well,
have a fourth person there to be like, yes, they're married.
Oh.
what if can I marry myself if I really want to? Like, is that acceptable?
No, I don't think so.
It's probably
That's
frowned
unfortunate.
upon.
I mean, what if I have split personalities and I just like myself a whole lot?
I think you'd have to be able to prove that you were actually two separate people inhabiting the same body.
In which
Hey.
case, they'd probably say, no, you don't get to marry anyone, dude. You're going to come with us.
That's problem.
That, or you get taxed twice.
Ooh.
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 Yeah.
Yeah,
There-
maybe not New Hampshire. That's like Massachusetts.
Then you have to
law.
file
Sure.
jointly with yourself. Think about
entertaining.
that. That actually might work out in your favor. If you could file jointly
Yeah.
with yourself, that's great. You get twice the deduction. This
And
works out great.
This is brilliant.
And now all of a sudden, Alex is thinking to himself, wait a second.
I mean, I'd probably divorce myself, honestly. It's not worth the hassle.
But what about the kids who are also you?
Oh, shit. I forgot about dependents.
He reproduces asexually now.
But can you reproduce by budding?
Oh,
I
that would be
mean,
amazing.
I reproduced with spores.
He is a fern.
Fair
He
enough.
I'm
just
such a
reproduces
fun
ferns.
guy.
I will stab
Oh,
you.
You've got to be kidding me with that.
Nope.
You know,
My
I'm just
my
scoring
brother-in-law
you.
does that. He's like, listen, I know he's a fun guy. I just don't want to eat him. That's his,
I mean, that
he
has
just
so
likes
many
mushrooms.
different. That has so many
that's
different.
wow. Yeah, I don't know how
There's
to
a lot
take
you can
that.
do with
Yeah,
that.
you could do that. Too many jokes, not enough time. Man. So anyway,
Puns are great. That
yeah,
pun,
I
not
know
so much.
you love your puns. You love all of your puns, and if they're in a dad joke form, it's even better. You're so happy when that happens. Anywho,
All my jokes are dad jokes. Just
yeah, I
throwing this
know,
out there.
and it's
that technicality.
it's
Technically.
totally endearing, and I don't mind it at all.
All my puns are bad puns.
Yes.
That's assuming there's such a thing as a good pun.
There's totally a thing. It's just a good pun.
Yeah. It's for a smarter person than me. I can't do a good pun.
So anybody.
Yeah. Thanks. Jeez.
Oof.
Wow, you're on burn patrol tonight.
Do you need some Bactine for that burn?
Yeah, I sure do. I need call who was in Backdraft? Now I can't remember. Whoever was in Backdraft, call them because we got to burn.
People didn't really watch Backdraft, I don't
They
think.
really yeah, I didn't either actually, come to think of it. So, maybe call the person who thought it was a good idea to make Backdraft. Tell them they gotta actually make it better so we can use that as a reference.
Improve Backdraft so I can use it as a reference more often.
Yes, improve this reference for me in the future. But anywho, I was talking about a little bit of stuff that was happening at GenCon because DC is at GenCon. And let me know about a few things that he saw while he was there. And actually still there. And he was telling me Pathfinder 2e was the big reveal on Thursday. So learned just a little bit about that. It's
They
tactical
improved
fun.
3.5.
Yeah, it's like
something.
It's like
like
3.5, but more of it. So there's something. It's even more tacticalier than that. That's a word.
3.5 with more numbers.
Yeah, it's
It's
three.
just what 3.5 needed
It's
to make it a
3.8,
better game.
3.9, 3.99999.
I mean, I've always considered Pathfinder 3.75.
Oh, okay.
A lot of people do.
Yeah. How about 3.14159? You could
That's
just
Pathfinder, Nathan.
Pathfinder. Perfect. See, there are smart puns. You made one. Good for you.
Pathfinder would be a great table.
Smart puns are different from. Smart puns are still bad puns.
That's true. There is no such thing as a good pun. I think it's
There's
literally
no such thing as
impossible.
a bad pun. Only a pun that didn't work.
But there
It's
is.
not bad. It's just pun that way.
All right. So yeah, we learned about Pathfinder, and we also he wanted to let me know just because he needed to let me know that there is indeed a Dream Daddy comic book.
Huh.
Yeah.
Well, good for them, I guess.
Yeah.
Not my kind of game. I did
Something
not
like
play it.
I did not play it either. My excuse is that they didn't make one for my system, I can't play it.
Yes,
my-
because you were talking about Mac, and I'm just sitting here going, oof, Mac.
Yep.
Yeah, he's one of those
Man.
guys.
Yeah.
You
One
have
of
an iPhone 2.
I don't. My phone is one of those Samsungs,
Oh,
one of those Galaxies.
I'm
So-
sorry.
My phone is probably better than my computer. I
At this
just
point, probably.
probably because it's that S10. But it's the S10e. It's like the little smaller one. So there you go. But yeah, so there's a Dream Daddy comic book. He felt like that was necessary for me to know. So thanks. I don't know if that was a slight dig or not, but that's okay. He also said, "Hey, there's a board game called Root," and I was like, "I'm familiar with this game."
Yeah, that.
Leader
Wait,
Games.
yeah,
Yeah,
I was
yeah.
gonna say that's building off the original Trove design that David laid out.
Right, and also the $1 million Kickstarter that they successfully pulled off.
Yeah,
So there is that, and there's cute
Patrick
animals.
is doing really well with that, and so is Kyle Farron.
Yeah,
The artist.
who you also know. Yeah,
Yeah, I've played D&D with have played D&D with Kyle.
yeah,
Um,
yeah,
Have just in general talked
yeah.
for, and obviously I know David. So yeah,
Right.
yeehaw.
Yeehaw, indeed. He let's see, what else was he talking about? There is another one that's called The Shared Dream. And as I
Shared
look,
dream.
The Shared Dream, which is described as, from the official publishing company, a modern fantasy cooperative board game featuring beautiful
Okay.
miniatures with TRPG-inspired storytelling and gameplay. It's a 1 to 4 player cooperative board game. Hey, you know what's funny about this, Alex? Remember when we were talking about the other day about storytelling board games?
Yes.
This kind of sounds like that, doesn't it? It sounds like a cooperative storytelling board game with RPG elements.
Oh boy, someone figured out how to do that. Nice.
Apparently,
Or you could even.
maybe
Was it
they
me? Did we do it?
did. We do it?
You did it, Reddit.
Oh my god!
We did.
What did we
Actually,
do?
fun fact: we have an episode coming out that we abused Reddit for.
Wonderful. They
Yes.
deserve it.
We're gonna see. We're gonna see if people like that or not.
We'll find out.
I will.
Well,
I certainly will.
well, that's good. It's in 2 parts because we went long with it. But we, for the record, we went to the tabletop design Reddit, and we looked at some of the questions, and had thoughts on them. So
Just a couple thoughts.
just a couple thoughts, surprisingly
we-
cogent, interesting thoughts. Believe it or not, but yeah,
Some of them.
some of them.
Yeah, we pulled a amateur YouTuber.
Move.
Just go to Reddit and read stuff until you make views.
Just do
I
it
mean,
all day.
that
long.
works for some people.
Exactly.
It does. It works for some people. We are usually not those people, but I guess we'll find out.
In 2 years when they're the biggest thing on YouTube for some reason and not making anything that you told them to,
Yeah,
it'll be great.
yeah,
Right?
that would be awesome. Can't wait for that.
How'd you get your start? Well, these 2 idiots told me what to do, and I did the exact opposite of that, and now I'm successful.
Actually, you know,
This one
that's
time on
this one time at band camp on Delve. No, what we
I need to drink more now.
what the thing about it is that maybe that's how we should have marketed the show is like, listen to this, do the exact opposite, because chances are it was bad advice. We'll do a bad advice show from now on.
that's our normal show.
Yeah, actually, that's I think that's why people watch. I don't know. Folklore the Affliction. Yeah, I was gonna look that one up too.
That's a name.
Folklore the Affliction. Yes.
the Affliction. That doesn't make me want to.
No.
It makes me want to stay away from it. Like it's a
No?
bad.
Sounds like a disease.
Yeah.
Well, you
I
know,
didn't want to say it, but it sounds like AIDS.
well, you know what it sounds like to me. It sounds like Bloodborne, and people liked that
Affliction?
game.
I see.
Folklore: The Affliction.
Bloodborne sounds like a pathogen.
Yeah, it's also a video game. I'm guessing,
Yeah, it's
Paul.
also
I'm guessing, Paul. You have played Bloodborne at some point.
I have not. I really wish I
Really?
have, but I have not gotten the chance because I do not own that system.
Oh, that's interesting. Because I figured that with how much you
my
play
roommate
From
likes it.
Software, you know.
I didn't. The unfortunate thing is, Bloodborne came out while I was in school, and I had nowhere near the money to afford such a thing. End result is I have, instead of a PS4 and Bloodborne, I have a PC with a lot of games I'm never going to play.
Oh. Fair.
That's act.
Oh,
Nice.
that's awesome.
Had I knew that was coming, I would have.
That would have been great. But no, we do our own Foley work on this show. That's pretty great.
Hey, now you have a soundboard for that. Soundboard
Yes.
file.
Yeah, I need to get that. I need to get on that right now. So Folklore: The Affliction actually is listed as coming out in 2017. Actually, a few of these that he was talking about actually list as coming out in 2017. So I guess it takes a little while for them to actually get around to, getting some heat behind them. But description for it is that it's a cooperative epic adventure where you find and destroy the source of evil spreading to the heart of the land. It is an expandable, ongoing horror RPG board game for 1 to 5 players.
That does sound very Bloodborne-like.
Yes, it does. The more I read about it, focuses on immersive storyline, strategic combat, character development, and intense character customization elements. Oh my god, this also sounds like a story-based board game.
That's not. You're not wrong.
Yeah, it sounds like that. Man, if only I had known
That's
about
interesting,
these
though.
like 2 days ago, we would have had so many things to talk about. But yeah, that's interesting. So it's sort of like a take on a board game that has RPG elements, so it's a cooperative experience, but it's got like a horror theme going on for it. Okay, I can wrap my head around this.
Seems interesting.
Yeah. Apparently there are thousands of people who officially own this game. So
Is it me? Do I own this game? Do I just not know about it?
Maybe you do.
Maybe you do.
don't. Maybe you lost it years ago in the wash.
Hey, that sounds like a lot of things.
The one thing that he did mention, and I'm starting to understand why, is that he said that it's pretty expensive. And I just saw something where they were like $220, and I was like,
What's
"Wait,
$220
what?"
now?
Apparently, the Folklore: The Affliction. I think the affliction is that your bank account had too much money in it, and we have to fix that.
You have to buy the GM?
You have to buy the GM. They have to come.
Here's the question: is it a game or is it one of these collector's edition games that no one's gonna take off the shelf?
No, I think it is actually an all-in box. It's
Okay, okay, what does that mean?
that it's that the whole game is in the box when you buy it. It's not like you
Okay,
have to
as
go and
opposed-
collect other things afterward.
As opposed to games where all the things you need aren't in the box. If it's a board game,
Yeah.
then it should all be in the box.
Yes, unless you have the ones where they expand out on, and they do the expansions, and then there's like
That's
another
not
board.
the same. That's not the same thing. That's an expansion to an already existing game.
Then I'm kind of
is-
confused
That
as to
is,
what you're
everything
talking
is in the box until we've made more for the box to contain.
about. Okay, then what are you talking about? Where there's
If
like
it's-
other stuff that you have to buy
there's, like,
afterward? Okay.
The existence of Warhammer? At least
I mean,
one day.
yeah,
Oh.
Warhammer would not be an
Okay.
all-in-the-box game, but that's also not a board game. It's a tabletop. a war game. It's totally different. Totally different.
There is a miniature box set. So
Oh boy.
there are miniatures for this. There's something fun for you. And there are expansions. There are expansions.
So it's
to be had.
$220 plus.
I guess so. If you want to do the Dark Tales expansion, that's like 56.
I do not.
Okay. There's
Just,
there is a
I do
miniatures
not.
box. There is a miniatures box set that's like 50. Yeah, Folklore of the Affliction from Walmart, by the way, Alex.
Walmart.
It,
From Walmart's website, I assume. I don't think they're going to carry that in the store.
Probably not. 140 is what they retail it at
Oh,
for
boy.
the game, just the core game.
Oh man, I can get it for 100 and less than 40.
Yeah, hey, there's an investment for you. You just keep buying those. You can be in great shape.
Resell them for $300.
Man, if I was still getting my $20 get discount and or 20% discount, and I would just buy all of those if we saw them in the store. Just buy them all and just sell them on the back end market. Here you go, folks. Enjoy. That theoretically makes money. It doesn't, but
Theoretically, if people buy it.
theoretically, if people buy it, and also if you don't end up eating all of that profit margin in like shipping, which you probably will. That's why it doesn't work out so well. Let's see. Oh, I was looking up another one that he was talking about. Clockwork Dominion, which is actually a diceless RPG. It actually uses cards.
Okay, those exist.
Ooh,
Yeah.
sounds
Well,
really
of course
cool.
it does. It's called Clockwork Dominion. And
I mean, those have
no,
already
I know that
existed.
there are other ones, but looking to be like more specific, less abstract than D&D.
I mean,
So
sure, okay.
yeah,
Oh,
but
hi, everybody.
oh, hello,
Hello, James.
hello, James. Is the Force with you tonight, James?
It is.
Good,
Always.
always.
Lucky.
Sweet. That's great. Now, what color is your lightsaber? Mine is gold. No, it's silver. It's silver.
Oh, that's hard.
Yeah.
I think
Mine
I'd
is-
want either purple or red.
Ooh.
Mine is
Or am I
knife
purple?
colored.
It's night colored.
Knife colored.
It's
Oh.
knife
The joke
colored.
is it's a knife.
It's a knife.
Mine
yeah.
is red, but not because the saber blade is red, because it's covered in blood.
Oh.
That's a terrible lightsaber.
Yeah, that's
I mean,
that's
it's
not
turned
very.
off when it's covered in blood.
Like, did you shove it into something? Like,
What
how
he
you
did-
get-
He shoved it in
How
and turned
rude.
it off, and when he pulled it back, it was just the coagulated blood that was on.
No, you shove it in while it's off, and then you turn it on.
That's gross.
Wow.
Don't shove things into people's holes without asking.
Phrasing?
This is
Yes.
why they don't make Star Wars stories anymore, Alex. Because
You want-
because
do you
people
want
like you
ants?
came along with new ideas like, why don't we make an Obi-Wan movie and he shoves the lightsaber in and turns it on? That doesn't sound like something Obi-Wan would do.
You know, honestly, I'd pay to see that.
I kind of want to see
100%
that
not
now.
what Obi-Wan does.
I would totally
I always
see.
thought the saber staffs that Darth Maul uses
Oh
are
yeah,
really cool.
yeah. Those were cool.
That's what I'd like.
Yeah. I mean, it apparently
Or
saves
maybe-
you from being like cut in two and thrown down a shaft because you come back anyway.
No, that's just a coolness factor. Coolness factor saves everyone.
Yeah, coolness factor saves
Except-
everyone.
Well, it saves you from everything except bad writing.
Yes.
I
Yeah,
mean,
that they couldn't.
it saves you-
No one could save him.
Your
from that.
hatred actually saves you from everything. That's why Darth Maul survived falling down the pit.
Survives out of pure spite.
Yup. I feel like we've been over this at least once.
Probably.
Oh, yeah. Spite is a great motivator. You can do so much with just pure spite. That's how I made it in retail for so long. Just endless spite. But yeah, so that was everything that DC had mentioned that he's seen over at GenCon. So there's some new things. Or at least some things that I'm not familiar with. But hey, Dream Daddy. It's
You're
all
really stuck on that, huh?
I can't help it. Have you seen, did you
I have
not
not.
see the animation for the game?
I have not.
I'm honestly curious about the Game Grumps visual novel video game because do you guys know who the Game Grumps are by any chance?
Yes.
Yes, I
Okay.
just don't follow them.
Yeah.
I occasionally watch one of their like things if it's decent and not too crass, and it's actually kind of funny. So I don't know. I didn't even know there was a visual novel video game about Game Grumps or relate that they were related to in some way or whatever. So I'm actually kind of curious about this.
I was not aware of such things, that they have a visual, like an interactive.
Yeah, I didn't know YouTubers got video.
That is basically what Dream Daddy is.
Yeah.
That's fair.
Yeah, that's fair. Well, no, YouTubers do end up with video games. They're just not always like I remember PewDiePie had like the Brofist of Doom or something. I just don't
They're
know.
normally simple.
They're usually not that involved. And then there's like a YouTuber simulator that they did.
It honestly
Yeah.
looks like
but
a visual novel based on a video game based on YouTubers based on a
Who play video
game.
games.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's super. This is super meta.
this is 3
Oh,
levels
wow.
of meta too deep. We've gone
Yeah.
We've gone down the wormhole. It's metaception, which by itself
gone-
seems meta.
It's metaceptual, and I don't.
This is Christopher Nolan doing the biography of Christopher Nolan.
Yeah.
Set in a Christopher Nolan movie.
That level of meta.
Yeah. Wow.
How deep have we gone?
We've gone
Dear
wild.
gods!
It will be up for so many awards that don't actually win. It's just
Half of the awards he was. It's okay. Half the awards he was up for don't actually exist. They were just in the movie.
they were just in the movie. A lot of people don't know that like at the end of a lot of those movies, you see somebody, if you stay past the credits, you see somebody accepting an award, and that's what it was. It wasn't in an actual award ceremony. It was in the movie.
That way he
movie
can
is
put
this?
on it.
And Dunkirk, like
I
at the
don't
end
know.
of Dunkirk, you see the soldiers go and accept awards on behalf of the movie Dunkirk, and then go away at the end of the whole war, and you're like, oh, good, they won the award, yay! Oh, that's nice. Suddenly, that just adds a whole other layer. You don't know who the
Like
We
an
went
onion?
so far down a rabbit hole there.
wow, yeah, I'll tell
Rabbits
you.
don't need their holes. We're gonna take them from them. Steal the rabbits' holes.
Why not just steal the rabbits?
Because we killed the rabbits.
The rabbits are how you get your kick.
No. That's
That
how you get your
sounds-
tricks, Nathan.
Doing a little bit of those.
Kicks are for
rabbits.
kids.
I need more bourbon, apparently.
Why do you need
all the
bourbon when you have me talking?
That's why he needs the bourbon.
That's an
Yep.
inebriating. Well, fine. Tricks are for kids, but also kicks are for kids. Call Leonardo
No,
DiCaprio.
tricks are for kids.
Tricks-
Tricks are for what?
Feet.
Kicks are for feet.
Unless they're pumped up kicks, then they're for running.
But can you outrun my gun?
I don't know. Let's not test it.
Yeah, let's not test that.
Yeah.
That is a bad slogan for any shoe company, by the way. Do not do that.
Or a
Can you
great
outrun my gun?
slogan.
Yeah, do not make that commercial, folks.
It's a great
Please do
slogan
not.
for Usain Bolt.
Oh, God, no,
I don't-
no,
I
don't
can
think
guarantee you, Usain Bolt is Hussein. I can never
Usain?
remember his actual Usain, right?
So. Yeah, it's
I always had an H for some reason. I think it's because I'm too American.
fair enough. Yeah,
Usain Bolt it is not fast enough to outrun a gun yet.
just wait. He's gonna post some times. I just know it. But yeah, no, bad slogan. Nike, don't do that. But
That's also a terrible slogan. Nike, don't do it.
don't do it. Just
I mean,
don't
to be
do it.
fair, to
Yeah.
be fair, they took their slogan from the last words of I believe, a serial killer.
So there's, well, gee, hey, you,
Yeah,
knew, you
just
knew that
do
was
it
gonna
was-
end well.
Just do it as someone's famous last words before they were executed. So I mean, you know,
I mean, to be fair, it's a lot of people's famous last words. Just do it. Come on, jump into the river. What could happen?
Yeah.
All the things could happen.
Yeah.
Just do it. Blow up the building. Who cares? What'll happen? Just do
Well,
it. Shoot the Archduke of Ferdinand. What could happen? Archduke of Austria, whatever it's called.
Archduke Ferdinand, yeah, sure.
Austria.
Yeah. What bad thing could possibly arise from such stuff? I can't think of any negative consequences that would come down the pike from that. Oh my goodness. Yeah. Just do it, says the person who killed Archduke Ferdinand.
We're making up new history again.
This is new history. This is drunk and uninformed history for everybody out there with no context. No
context, only alcohol.
Yeah, only alcohol.
That's a great way to do a history show. No context, only alcohol.
All alcohol, no context.
I'd use
Just
that as a
do
tagline.
it.
I believe there's a subreddit for that too. I think it's called like Fake History or something like that.
Oh God.
I can't remember the actual name. It's like they take pictures and they quote them incorrectly. And what's happening?
It's like so and so sees.
So it's Facebook.
It's like a picture of Ernie looking looking through the trees. You know, Vietnam soldier observes Charlie attacking from the trees. Things like that. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
fantastic.
Fucking mosquitoes.
It's a really
That is the only way to
Are you
address them.
No, my door was open for a little too long.
Yeah, no, I mean, for mosquitoes, the only way to address them is fucking mosquitoes. There's nothing.
It's the only appropriate title.
Yeah, exactly. Let them all die. Kill all mosquitoes. Let the mosquito genocide start.
kill all mosquitoes work.
Yeah.
No, you can't have mosquito genocide. That would affect the bird population. and
Actually, they
dragonfly
don't know if
larvae.
that's true because a lot of the birds eat other things besides the mosquitoes. They had
Fine,
a whole thing where they were talking about could you actually if you eradicated mosquitoes, would that actually affect the environment? And it turns out not really that much because a lot of things that would eat mosquitoes also eat a lot of other insects that are in the same areas.
You'd probably reduce those populations for a short period of time.
Yeah, but then those other populations start coming back because other bugs now have like more market share.
Breeding grounds, yeah.
Yeah, like your
Mosqui-
flies will just end up being like, oh, the mosquitoes aren't there to take our food. Screw it, we're on top now.
What do mosquitoes eat besides human blood?
Dreams.
Animal blood. Dreams.
No, they eat dreams.
Okay.
See,
Not
the
just
thing
the
about that is, I
Euphrates.
believe don't dragonfly larvae eat mosquitoes as well?
That is true. Dragonflies are actually one of the greatest counters to mosquitoes. So if you've never heard of dragonfly, they're here to protect you.
That's true.
They're fun. They're
Although
great.
I think dragonflies will eat other bugs. They don't just eat the mosquitoes.
That's true.
They'll
Yeah,
eat
but
other
they're
things.
one of the best hunters of mosquitoes.
It's also
Oh,
one
I'm
of the
sure
most
they're
common
very effective.
for them.
Hmm. Yeah. Those and purple martins and bats are also big on mosquitoes. They like those
Batman
mosquitoes.
doesn't eat mosquitoes.
Huh?
Well, that maybe he's not a good Batman. Ever thought of that?
He's just not a
Batman-
good bat.
No, well, the thing about it is that does beg a very important question: is Batman more man or bat?
More man.
Yeah,
With that amount of trauma, he's more man.
he's definitely more man. It makes you wonder
He's-
why the bat dynamic in the first place. 'Cause there's not
he's
a
just
lot of-
creature of the night.
Yeah, but I mean,
Yeah.
you could also have been Catman, or
Then he would just nap all day.
Adam West. Adam West.
you do the thing, but there are a lot of he could have been Raccoon Man. He could have been. There's a lot of creatures of the night that he could have chosen to be.
Didn't he like have to choose an animal aspect when he was going through Ra's al Ghul's like training program?
No, I think what happened
whatever.
was that when he was little, after he saw his parents die, he fell into a bat cave, and the bats like swirled around him, and he decided that he would be a creature of the night like the bats.
That would be the most recent Batman's, second most recent Batman's backstory. Yes.
Yeah, yeah.
The real question was why the original Batman was a bat.
Cape. The cape is probably a big factor in it.
The cape. He needed that cape.
Of course, ironically, then you go and watch The Incredibles, and they're like, no capes. Capes bad. Capes get caught in things. Capes are terrible for you.
Capes kill you.
Capes kill.
They do. Have you seen my super suit?
Or did you ever see?
No,
Did you ever see the series The Cape? That got killed off too, real quick. They tried to make a comic book show, and it was called The Cape. And the reason no one remembers it because it was not good, and people didn't watch it.
That's a pretty good reason not to remember something.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. That should have been the first indicator that capes are a bad idea. When you literally name your superhero The Cape, and no one watches your show.
I mean, that's a pretty bad superhero name. So
It really is, especially because, like, if you lose the cape, do you have any
It's
superpowers?
also just generic, too. The cape.
Yeah,
Okay, why are you the cape? Because I'm wearing it.
I'm wearing a cape.
cool.
Are
My
you
name
sure?
is T-shirt Man.
Let's name ourselves after our wardrobe. Can I be Jorts Man? I want to be Jorts Man.
Jeans warrior.
The jeans
Now I
warrior.
I just sound like someone from a gangster, like a 70s gangster film. Not even, like, snapping my fingers. It's the Jeans Warriors. Look out.
It's not the Warriors, it's the Jeans Warriors.
Come out.
Yes.
and Play. It really, yeah, Jeans Warriors. Come out and play. Wow, I really can't keep this up. This doesn't sound threatening at all.
No, not at
No.
all. It just sounds creepy.
No. The only
Not that kind of creepy. Different type of creepy.
the
Okay.
only
We all float down here.
Oh
We all wear
god.
jeans down here.
Yeah. Surprisingly enough, the only thing that I actually like remember about the Warriors, because I never saw the movie, was the video game. Because they made a video game, and I think it was by Rockstar. They made the Warriors video game, and I was like, "This is
I
a
played that, yeah.
fascinating thing." I was
Fascinating is definitely a word for it.
Yeah, because it's like
There's
totally
words.
out of left field. That was a strange game.
It wasn't all that bad either.
It wasn't bad. It was just like, I guess just from playing other Rockstar games, I'm like, wow, there's a lot of melee focus on this thing. And it's like, it's funny because like when I think about like the Batman and you get into like the Arkham Asylum games, it's like a lot of the gameplay is sort of similar, like how they set up like battles and stuff like that. Where you have to do counters and you have to like try and wrestle them onto the ground and stuff. And it's I don't know. I think it works better for Batman. I couldn't get behind the characters in the Warriors. I'm like, I don't identify with any of you.
Oh, so you're not a gang member?
Not for a long time yet.
No.
I mean,
You
I
should
tried to
probably
leave
join
that
a,
way.
uh,
I left that
should
life.
Join a roving gang of Tom Brokaw's.
I should. That's a very strange thing to say. I
An
left
oddly-
my life of crime right after I played the Warriors, and I realized this isn't for me. I had a virtual gang.
This life of crime just isn't suited for me.
This life of crime in a virtual world is not suited for me whatsoever.
Gotta try real crime sometime. Might be more suitable.
No, don't do that. Don't go and do that.
Yes, let's promote real life crime. Nothing. What could possibly go wrong there?
Yeah, just do
Absolutely
it.
Nothing.
Because of course. Oh my goodness.
Do it.
Just do it.
Do it.
Oh my goodness.
Don't let your dreams become dreams.
D-
Or memes.
We should
what he
never try to
actually
make
said.
slogans for anyone ever. Oh man, good. Okay. So that was So apparently that was GenCon. They also had some people doing roleplay and stuff. So
That was GenCon. Nothing else happened at GenCon, guys. Don't worry.
nothing else happened at GenCon. Everything else is applesauce. It's just
Applesauce.
yeah. Everything else is applesauce. It's just stuff on the side. Those things that we talked about, the only important things that happened at GenCon. I can assure. Don't bother looking it up. I'm sure that's all.
Nothing
that
else happened.
Nothing else happened at
So,
GenCon.
Pathfinder, some
And-
afflictions, some root.
There's the Root, and there's the Pathfinder, and then there's a Dream Daddy comic book. Really, that's all you need to know.
Nathan really needs that Dream Daddy comic book.
I need to, yeah.
If anyone listening wants to buy Nathan a Dream Daddy comic book, I'm sure he'll love it.
Don't bother. You know what? Gift it to somebody who really needs it.
So Nathan.
I have all the Dream Daddy that I need in my heart.
Awkward.
In my heart. In my heart. I got it all.
I gotta go.
That's probably for the best.
Yeah.
I'm Commander Shepard.
How did you become Commander Shepard?
Because I gotta go. I'm Commander Shepard.
Okay.
And this is my favorite shop on the Citadel.
Oh, yeah.
It's accurate, though.
Those were the parts where Commander Shepard was the most animate. So that's fun. Anyway.
My favorite part of that entire joke of this is my favorite shop on the Citadel is that if you chose the Renegade option, you could be like, hey, this place discriminates against poor people. It's like, that is equally dumb.
Yeah.
All right, good to know neither of these options are supposed to be good. They're just fodder for the alignment system.
Yeah, pretty much.
Alignment systems have always been kind of meh in a lot of games.
When they're linear like that, especially, like, you know, if you're just going down a good path or a bad path, it's like, yeah, how many good points or bad points am I going to get? Pretty much just going with that. That was the biggest problem with, like, Fable, is that it kind of turned morality into a number system. I go into a store, and it's like, oh, that's 3 bad points if I steal stuff. Oh, I killed a villager. That's 5 bad points. So let me think about this. Stealing something is like 2/3 as bad as killing somebody. Now I see. Thanks for applying that.
I have an alignment system. I'm neutral.
So you really don't do anything in those games if you're neutral. You don't choose the Renegade or the Paragon options.
Which games are we talking about?
Well, in this particular case, I'm talking Mass Effect because it would be Paragon Renegade. But I could also say Light Side, Dark Side, or Karma, or anything like that. But if you're going true neutral, you take you don't go down the bad path and you don't go down the good path at all. You go straight down the center. You're a gray Jedi in KOTOR. You're not going light side or dark side. You're going. But see, they don't really promote that because you get like bonuses.
You don't get any of the. You don't get any of the fucking awesome.
You get no bonuses for being a great. Actually, in the second one, I think you might. I can't remember. I thought for some reason in the second one, if you really do go down a neutral path, you actually do get like more force points or something like that. They
Interesting.
Yeah, but again, you have to remember that was made by Obsidian, so it's very possible that they expanded upon some of those ideas. It's very hard to play as a purely neutral character, and really once you start going down one road, you're kind of like, well, I'm all in. So I'm gonna go down.
Leroy Jenkins.
Yeah.
I already have that title. Thank you, though.
Oh, that must be fun for you.
Yeah.
Leroy.
I mean, I don't use it.
Yeah.
There's so many other titles I'd rather use. Come on.
Like Blood King. Such a good title.
The Argent Champion. It's the one I'm currently using.
Perfect. Fun story. When I was playing a D&D heist one time, my trigger word to have everybody like start the plan was that I was going to shout Leroy Jenkins, and so I did that.
I guess that happens.
Yeah, and then the fireworks started. Literally, there were
All
fireworks. So there's something. Anywho, so I did want to ask, though, what everyone was currently playing, because I haven't gotten to catch up on everyone.
I'm playing World of Warcraft as we speak.
As you speak. How is the World of Warcraft? I mean to ask because I have not played in so very, very long.
Fantastic.
Fantastic. Good. The world
Can you still kill people?
Yes.
Good question.
Okay.
There's actually an option now where even on PvE realms, you can turn on a thing called War Mode, which will enable World PvP for you, so you can kill other players that have it enabled.
Just whoopsies! Accidentally murdered you. Sorry, friend.
Or murdered you on purpose. You can't kill like your own faction, but you can still kill your opposing faction with that enabled, and you get more experience for it. And there's some extra talents thrown in with the war mode on that are actually pretty neat. So I like it. In general, the game is doing pretty well. I think the story. I was telling Nathan the other day, the storylines have been really fantastic lately for the last couple of expansions.
Good.
The gameplay is pretty fun, so I enjoy it. Yeah, that's what I'm playing.
Yeah.
In general and overall, that and RimWorld.
Yeah. See, I never really got RimWorld.
That's because you didn't like Dwarf Fortress, Nathan.
Well, I didn't even know about Dwarf Fortress.
Exactly.
See, there's the problem. Is that I just don't know about these things. If I don't know about them, I don't know if I like them or not. Those are like roguelites with the text icons, right? Is that RimWorld too, or the little emoticons?
No, not so much, Nathan.
No? Okay.
No.
No,
Quite.
RimWorld
No.
is something completely. Don't worry about it. It's a thing. It's fine. Paul, what are you playing right now?
Currently, I am playing Warframe.
I actually saw that on the side of the screen. I was like, oh, okay. I played Warframe for a little while, but I really haven't been on it for a bit, so.
I have never played, but I have friends who play.
I played it last year for a little. Actually, I played it during the free-to-play marathon, and it was the one game that I actually was like, actually, I'm going to download it again. I want to play that some more. It was the only one that I was like, yeah, I want to step back in and try some more.
It's got its
it's got charm.
Positive qualities.
Yeah, its flaws are pretty easily spotted, and you just have to determine if it's a factor or not for you.
Yeah, there's definitely a mechanic here where paying can get you what you need.
Yep.
But you can not pay to get what you need.
But if you don't, the grind is very real. Like, you could grind through it and you can get anything that you want. However, there's a premium currency, and if you want, you can get that stuff immediately. I remember that I had one particular Warframe that I wanted to get, and it was Valkyr. That was the one that I was really gung-ho to get. And it's like, you can try to collect all of these pieces, but if you have enough of the premium currency, you can literally just buy it. And I happen to have accrued that much without actually spending a lot of money on it, because I got it through different things, and I was like, I kind of just want to get the suit now, so I have it, but it's not the prime one. I didn't get the fancy prime one, and I'm like, oh god, what do I need to do to get the prime one?
I recently learned that the way you're supposed to get the prime ones has changed only slightly since I had last really played this game.
Oh yeah.
And I was very confused talking to someone like, wait, where did the void keys go? Void? What do you mean void keys? You go to the void and you unlock the keys so that they can give you stuff. You mean the relics? What's a relic? We were talking about the same thing.
Oh, they changed.
I love when games change currency systems and stuff like that, and you come back and you're like, wait, where'd this go? They're like, what do you mean, where'd this go? Like, where'd that thing that I worked so hard for go?
Yeah.
Well, it turns out they just changed names. That's the positive thing in the end.
Yeah.
No, like all my time was to waste.
Yeah, it's like World of Warcraft a while back actually changed their honor system around.
Mm-hmm.
Now you get marks of honor instead of whatever else you got. Instead of honor points. And I was like, wait, where'd the honor system go? I'm like, oh, it's totally different now. Okay.
Yeah.
I dig this, I guess.
But I found it's been very... I was expecting the grind to be a bit harsher in this game, but I have played a little bit of it before.
Yeah.
I say a little bit. I had technically 200 hours. I don't know how.
I feel you on that with certain games.
Well, it might also be I've had some where they actually log me in for way more hours than I actually was in because I didn't technically quit out of the game between sessions.
That's
Yep.
fair.
I put the system
Definitely
to
had that.
sleep, and then I came back and my game was still going, and they assumed that I had been playing for 24 hours between the time.
It's a
and
very entertaining feat.
It's a very
How did you
entertaining
do
feat.
that?
When it's like, oh, Pillars of
mean-
Eternity thinks I've literally played for 150 hours. Nope, I haven't. But thanks for trying. And I know because I have a save file, and then I have a save file from like the next day when I came back, and I literally moved 2 feet, and it says that I've logged in another 22 hours in that time. And I'm like, yep, I see how this
But yeah,
works.
it's definitely that where I just put my system to sleep or even just walked away for too long.
Yeah,
And I come back and I go, oh my.
yeah.
I've definitely had that happen with like Elite Dangerous, which what's Steam probably says I have like almost 500 hours on,
Mm-hmm.
but leaving the launcher open.
Oh yeah. Yeah, you could have
you know,
walked away
counts.
from it for like 3 days, come back, and it's like, oh, well, wow.
You're dedicated, man.
How'd I...
I mean,
How they
I
log
did
in
wipe my
78
save
hours.
after like 400 hours in that game, but that's besides the point.
See, that would definitely be a rage-inducing thing for me.
No, I wiped my game on my own.
Oh,
Yeah, I wanted to. I was like, I don't. It's so open world that it's like when I restart Skyrim and I have no idea where the hell I am, so I just start
Yep.
a new game.
yep.
Except this one was me going, I have no idea like where in the galaxy I am or what I'm doing in this entire game. Let's just wipe the save and start from scratch and figure out something else to do.
I realized that Elite Dangerous was not for me when I had trouble landing my ship.
Landing is so much fun though.
Oh, yeah,
They-
check my brakes, check my landing gear. Am I on emergency thrusters? Am I situated? I would wind up in, like, the docking bay for, like, 20 minutes trying to figure out how I just get my ship to sit down. And I was like, you know what? This is just too much for me to deal with.
I mean, on the bigger than the first ships you get, I mean, you can just use a docking computer if you really want.
But that would have been lovely because it was way too confusing for me out of the gate.
Yeah.
That was the one thing that, like, No Man's Sky did right, where it's like, I want to land. Okay, you're able to land now. I hit the land button, and my ship lands.
I just wish you
Mission
could crash. Like if you
That
like, no,
would've
I'm not,
been
I'm not
great.
pressing that I'm not pressing the land button. What are you gonna do? We're gonna land you.
Yeah,
Well, screw you.
yeah.
I don't
That was a
want
missed
to land.
opportunity.
I want to crash and not be able to leave this planet ever again. Thank you.
I want to
That would be
start my
great.
life here as a shipwrecked madman. Let me do it. No. Ah.
You actually do in No Man's Sky. That is actually how your game starts. Your ship is non-functional. You're just stuck on the planet. Now you have to repair your damn ship, and so you do that. And then if you're
Just call IT. That's how it works, right?
yeah, you just call the IT department. They'll come right out and fix you right up. You have
Oh, is that what
AAA in
happens?
space, right?
It's actually
totally.
called quintuple A.
Yeah, it's quintuple A. It's just it's atmospheric.
I thought it was
AAA.
actually called
Atmospheric and
Sagittarius.
Astronomic Auto Assistance Association.
I thought it was just called Sagittarius A.
No, that's their that's an offshoot.
Oh,
Yeah,
rip. My bad.
So they only
AAA.
serve specific star coordinates, but they're really, really effective.
Yeah.
Fair.
Yeah, they'll
That's
get you
fair.
where you want to be. And then if you're lucky like me, you get your ship off the ground and you go to a distress signal, and it turns out that it was an abandoned ship, but it was like one of those giant freighters. And if you just spend a little time trying to get that airborne, you can trade it in for so much money. and I did. It was barely flyable and like enough that you could get into outer space. And then like I traded this ship that I could not use for another ship that was not quite as big but was fully functional and had plenty of stuff on it. And they were like, "Yeah, I'll take your giant I'll take your red dwarf cargo freighter thing, and I can get my cool like warship that has plenty of space on it all unlocked. If you're lucky, you can do that. And it makes the game so much easier. But then I also had a little glitch where I got to the point where I bought this one ship, and I had it. I went to trade in for a different ship, but I was still in the docking bay, and I still had my old ship after I did the trade. So then I had my big non-functional freighter that was worth like 10 million credits or whatever, and I traded in for a nice ship. And then I'm looking at all the other ships that are docking, and I still have I could just go back up to my freighter and say, yes, this abandoned freighter I want to own as well. And they'd be like, cool. So now I own the freighter again, and I just go to the next ship captain and say, can I buy your ship too? And they'd be like, yeah, sure. And so I traded it, and I go back to my freighter, and I buy it again. I just salvage it again. Before you know it, I have the whole docking station is just like 10 ships, and I've just bought them all off of this one freighter that I now still own the whole time. And I'm like, that's a glitch, but I'm gonna take it because now I have an armada using it.
Now you just need to figure out when that glitch comes back to haunt you, and 17 ship captains are looking for their freighter.
Where did my ship go? No, unfortunately, that never happens. Never happens. Sorry, doesn't work. Until I went.
I want the true Han Solo experience.
I was gonna say you're pulling a solo.
Yeah. I pulled a solo right there. I cannot make the Kessel run in 12 parsecs though.
That's because you don't have a janky ass fucking hyperdrive.
That, and also parsecs isn't a measure of time; it's measure.
No, it's
but
measure of distance.
Yeah, because we try not to get too deep into the weeds on that because it's like, fine.
We get so deep in the weeds that you can't come back out because there's so many weeds.
And there are those space worms. The space worms come out if you get too deep into the weeds.
Too deep in the weeds, you might not get out, but you're gonna be real high.
Not today, Satan.
That's we should be. James is very impressionable, and we don't want.
So I should be doing dumber things. Got it.
You should be. Yes, you should be doing. Yes, he's very impressionable. Do dumber things to make you feel. Anywho, so we've got Warframe, we've got World of Warcraft. There's a lot of W's around. That's fun. What did I play? Well, I had just done a video where I finally got around to telling people that I played Beast Quest, or at least I tried to. That was fun. My recommendation, don't do that. It's not great. It's not great. It's not particularly fun, and it's not really designed very well. That's my recommend. Beast Quest.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, not the book series or the mobile game or anything like that, but the one that they did on the Xbox. I played that one. Yeah, it's fun because there's a whole thing at the beginning where you're like this kid. And you're just like hopping and floating to like platforms as you hop, which is like immediately I was like, oh boy, this is not great. And then a wizard pops up, and the wizard is
a wizard, you say?
Yeah, a wizard just pops out, and you pick up a glove, and you're like, oh look, it's a knight's glove, or whatever the kid is saying. I don't know. He's got one of those faces that looks like it's a marionette trying to talk. It's fun.
Oh jeez.
And he picks up this glove, and a wizard comes down and is like going, I need you. Like all of a sudden, it's like, hey, you're a kid. You picked up a glove. Good news. Would you like to free 4 legendary beasts from the control of an evil wizard? I'm a good wizard. He's an evil wizard. You should stop him and free the legendary creatures across the land. And the kid's like,
oh boy.
Cool. I guess I could do that. First, I need to teach you how to jump and climb. Oh, okay. I bet that's going to come in handy when I'm on my beast quest. And so So you do like the basic jumping and stuff, and then the wizard comes back and goes, "Wow, you're like this other knight of legend that I remember once upon a time. Do you remember Taladon the Swift? Are you related to Taladon the Swift?" And I'm sitting there like, no, that would just be way too much of a coincidence. The kid's like, "I'm his son." I'm like, damn it. But I haven't seen him since I was a baby.
Hang on. How many contrivances are we going for here?
I know. I'm like, wow, this is Tropeville. This is great. I'm like, oh, you just happened to run across the hero of legend. Oh, well, eventually he starts to tell you what your father did because you don't know anything. Tom
She'll be right back.
is not aware of anything. So he gives you the story, and it turns out that your father actually tried to defeat this wizard beforehand and failed, and his armor got lost, and then you recover his armor and decide that you're going to be able to finish his beast quest, which is how it gets its name. And then you do, and the final boss with like the phoenix thing, I'm like, oh, okay, this is the final boss. This might be a little hard. Literally, I just keep smashing the attack button, and in under 30 seconds, boss dead.
Whoops.
The evil wizard comes out, and I'm like, oh, this must be the real boss. No, literally, the bird just takes the wizard, dumps him in the volcano, and just...
Great job, Bird.
Thanks, Bird, for doing all the legwork. And in the meantime, yeah, it's a very tropey game from start to finish. There's a whole lot of like like the spider insect creature, and there are wolves, and you go and you hit the wolves and you hit the goblins, and there's a dragon, and then there's a yeti, and and so you beat those. You take their special little emblem that they give you as a thank you, and then you get some you get some ability that just lets you basically get to the next section of the map, and then you finish. And you're like, and they give you like the best thing after you defeat the last guy. You get the talon that will heal all your wounds when you activate it. And I'm like, why would I bother? I just beat the hardest enemy in the game. I don't even know why I'm still playing. I don't see much reason.
That's why it's there. It's to make you question the entire reason for your being here.
Yeah, exactly. And so then I'm sitting there like, I mean, I guess there's technically other stuff to do. You can go on like the hunt quests, and you can try to get all the keys for all the chests, but I don't really see much purpose in it because I don't need the money. I've bought all the upgrades, and that's all I get, basically. It's just more money. Yep, I don't see much point in it. But hey, I can say that I did indeed complete my beast quest, and I realized that Tom is like the stupidest knight. He truly is a stupid boy, but we love him for it. Anyway, so I played that. I failed to play a Tales game, which I was surprised by. Because I usually like the Tales series, and what was it that I played? Tales of Graces was a good one. But I got to play another one of the Tales games that just got remastered, and I can't remember which one it was. I'll have to look it up. But I really wanted to like it because I've always liked them in the past. But the combat system became so difficult to actually wrap my head around, surprisingly enough, that I got to like the first actual boss, and I tried to defeat him about 10 times, and I was like, I don't know what you want me to do here, so I am just going to give up now. Sorry, I don't know what to tell you. And I was really sad too.
That is. Oh well.
It's sad because It was, it's usually a good series. Like Tales of Symphonia was great. Tales of Graces was really great. But for some reason, the way that they did this, because the combat system is a combination of like a two-dimensional fighting arena, but also in a three-dimensional space, so that you can also try to move in 3 dimensions. But if you go to attack something, you have to be locked on to the target, and you automatically go up to them, even though you're technically like in a 3D space. You have to purposefully like depress a trigger so that you can move freely around your target, and then take it off in order to go and attack directly. It was just something that I could not wrap my head around. It was way too confusing. And it's just like, if you go back to Tales of Symphonia, it's literally, it is on a 2D plane. You go forward, you go backwards, you can go up and down. So it's real simple to figure this out. And that's why battles felt really fast and really fluid. And then I've played ones where they do a 3D, but if you angle it in a certain way, and you try to combine 2-dimensional elements and 3-dimensional elements in a real-time combat scenario, yeah, there's a way where that just does not feel natural. And unfortunately, this was just, this was one of them for me. Zestiria? Was that the one? I'm gonna find it if it kills me. It was, Tales of Fantasia. It might have been Tales of Fantasia. But whatever it was, I thought that it had me at the beginning, because the main character was kind of a disenfranchised, like shinobi kind of character, but he had a wolf, and the wolf was smoking.
That's instant points.
Yeah, but even better, the wolf always had a pipe in its mouth.
It was a Wolf of Wall Street, I hope.
It was it was just the strangest thing, and I was so there for it. It was a wolf, and it had this long, like, smoking pipe that was coming out the side of its mouth the entire time. And I'm like, I don't know how you messed this up. You have
a pipe smoking wolf. How did you fuck this up?
Yeah, well, you know how they mess it up is that the second you get into combat, the wolf is like, I'm going over here. And you're like, okay, you go around the back of the building. And then the wolf is not in play at the beginning of the game. I did not get to have the wolf play with me in the game for the short time that I was playing it. I was like, that was my one thing I was looking forward to, was getting to have a wolf. And you let me down. I feel...
You let me down, game. You let me down.
You let me down. Oh, maybe it was Tales of Eternia. That sounds like about the right one. So yeah, I tried that one, and that unfortunately was like the one Tales game I could not get into, and it was just the battle system did not work. I tried running away, I tried going forward, I tried attacking nonstop, I tried blocking, but damage keeps getting through even if you try blocking, and I'm like, I don't get this at all.
No, you didn't do the 16 combos before the match started, and then perfectly time your jumps in beat with the background music.
Yeah.
So that you could unlock the command prompt that says kill all enemies.
Yeah. You didn't do that. You didn't unlock the Konami code at the beginning of the game, and so now it won't let you do it anymore. Sorry, everybody.
I love that Konami code.
Yeah, I was bummed by that. But anyway, I took that back. I sent that back because I had another game that came in, and I was like, okay, I'll try playing this. And now I can't stop playing this other game, which is My Time at Porsche. And if you haven't heard of that, it's okay, because it's fairly new, and I don't think it had a really big fanfare around it. But if you're familiar with Stardew Valley, it's kind of like that. It has a similarity to it, but it's not like a 8-bit graphic style. It's actually like a 3-dimensional world that they built. And it's less focused on the farming aspect, although there is some farming you can do, and it's more focused on building. So, like, instead of inheriting your grandfather's farm, you inherit your father's workshop. And then you go
So
and...
what you're saying is...
Yes.
I can just play Sim Farm.
Okay. I mean, I guess...
I mean, if you want to be boring...
Yeah, because
Yes.
do you have...
Okay, then, yeah, go with that.
Do you have fun
Yeah.
characters that you
Yeah.
interact with on Sim Farm?
No, there are no characters.
Well, see,
That's the
there
way I
you
like it.
go.
Boring and devoid of life, just like my farm.
Yeah.
Because I'm a bad farmer.
See,
I
the
love
thing-
my farms.
Yeah, see the
Boring, devoid of life.
thing- Yeah,
Sir, that's just called a dirt patch.
yeah. See the charm
Behold
of
thine dirt patch.
see the charm.
This is where I grow my field of fucks. It is barren.
see the charm of games like a Stardew Valley or at my time at Porsche is that it does feel like a world that is populated by people and you create relationships with them and you go
I
off
can't
and you
even
do
create
other things
relationships with
besides
real people. What do you want from me?
because I don't have
A birth
like
of humanity.
I don't like when I gift something to the people in this game, there's an actual point system that I get from it. I know instantaneously if this succeeded or failed, and I like that kind of number permanence.
That's not how life works, Nathan.
No, that's why people play fucking farming sims, Alex. People don't play Stardew Valley because it feels too realistic. It's like, I wish that it was this simple to live in a community with people and interact with them through a dialogue choice.
Unacceptable.
Well, that's too bad. Plus, you go into
Unex-
dungeons and fight monsters too, and I go in
Unacceptable,
mine.
Juju.
That's always fun. You get to fight slimes. That's a fun
can do that.
thing.
I mean, I do that on a daily basis. But that's just because I have a fungus problem.
Yeah,
Well, that's unfortunate.
yeah. I'll tell you, it sure is.
Well,
Yeah.
there seems to be a fungus among us.
Damn that Pokemon.
You are a fun guy.
I will stab all three of you.
Is James the third? He
Don't-
hasn't said anything.
I don't care. He's an accomplice.
He's in a James is completely innocent in this. James is,
Exactly. It'll be your fault that he's dead.
I do
His
not take
blood is on
responsibility for
Nathan's
this.
hands.
I do not take responsibility
You've
for this.
already taken responsibility for it just by being you.
Yeah. Okay. Fine. Fun fact, though, when I started my time at Porsche, I already knew, like, okay, I know the character I'm building, and I was like, I'm gonna make Abigail from Stardew Valley, and so I have this whole headcanon that, like, Abigail was too scared to, like, go into the mines, but she wanted to be, like, a brave adventurer, so she decided, fuck all of you in Pelican Town, and she went off to Porsche so that she could pursue her real dream of being like a frontierswoman. So I have my own like little sub story going on in this game now too.
Oh, see, you would enjoy RimWorld then because you can make your own stories as you go.
Yeah.
I have a hard time making up stories with like no prompts for anything for games like that. So
Oh
it's
yeah.
like, yeah, you can make your own story. I'm like, same with like The Sims. It's
Uh-huh.
like, cool, wait, there's a story already. They're living a life. Yay, I don't need to add anything to it.
Yeah.
Like, oh no, you can add like whatever you want. I'm like, no, I can't.
Can I have a farm in RimWorld?
Yeah, you can have a farm in RimWorld, but you might get attacked by like.
Then
raiders and
why
stuff,
don't
too.
you just have Farm Sim? Yeah. See, I could do it too.
You don't
I-
get people that
Sim
have
farm.
creepy breathing in RimWorld, Nathan.
Well, gee, sign me the fuck up for that. I have characters with creepy breathing. Man, I can't wait to get onto that. Yeah, I can say that there's a surprising lack of creepy breathing in my time at Porsche. Sorry, it loses points.
Damn.
It loses points for that. I guess you're right. You were right all along. Although
I was right.
Although, on the plus side, you can make your own fertilizer by collecting animal poop. That's an actual thing you can do. And if you can't
Alright then.
find it in the field, go and slash away at some helpless animals out there in the field, and
Didn't we do that
and they
when we played
shit their
Don't Starve
pants.
together with DC?
Yes.
Weren't we out there collecting poop?
I think
from
we
the
were
yard
collecting
for,
poop from like
animals?
the giant turkeys and stuff. Oh no,
It was giant
from
bison
the
chickens.
beefaloes. It was from the
The
beefaloes. Or I think I got over there and I was looking at the beefaloes and I was trying to collect as much as I could of their droppings, and then something came along and killed me. In the middle of
we
me
died a
dealing,
lot.
I die so much in that game. It shouldn't have been called Don't Starve. It should have been called Don't Die.
It should have been called You're Going to Fucking Starve.
It should have
that's
just been
bad.
called You Will Die. Seriously.
Have fun in hell, you imbeciles.
Death the game.
Yeah, everybody who tried to play. Good news. You can't. It was sort of
Good
like,
news, everyone. You're dead.
yeah, sort of like in Borderlands, where it's where in the first game. Oh yeah, that was the other thing. I've been playing Game of the Year edition of Borderlands. I finally got to. I haven't played that since it originally came out.
Rip.
But the Game of the Year edition's nice. It has some nice additions to it. But
More Claptrap.
there's so many
Oh,
more
thank God,
claptraps
no.
in the original Borderlands. There, because there's only the one in Borderlands 2 and 3
Need more
and pre-sequel.
Claptraps. Yeah.
Sure.
You need infinitely more Claptrap units.
Well, we kind of saw what happened in the first Borderlands when they tried to have too many claptraps. They had the robot revolution, and they came after you.
I mean,
So eventually they can become so sarcastic they just want to kill anyone who isn't sarcastic, right?
Yeah. The best part about when I was playing through it again, and I forgot so much stuff, is that in the Claptrap's robot revolution, Claptrap is on the loudspeaker, doing all of these speeches to the people, to his robot minions. And he literally did the speech that Andrew Ryan gives at the beginning of BioShock. And just repurposed it.
That is that's a little too perfect.
Yeah, it really is, where he's like, is a robot not entitled to the sweat of his brow? No, says the man in Hyperion. And I'm like, God damn it. God damn it. How did you do that? It's not fair.
I mean, it's a speech. You can get away with that, but did he just get away with that?
Yeah, he kind of did.
he did.
I don't know if anyone cared.
Okay, I'm currently forgiving many of Warframe's sins due to the fact that I have a thing that is just a cannon.
Oh, yeah.
Cannon.
I'm just running around with a cannon.
Oh, is it in the space thing? 'Cause
I'm a space ninja wielding a cannon. This is
Well, I remember in the flight missions you had just a big ass cannon, and you just
no.
carry.
Whoa, Jesus!
Nah, there we go.
I've never seen something launch that high in this game.
Well, they did a big update recently. I
They've
think
had a couple of very large updates.
I saw something. They were doing the big presentation at TennoCon, and they were
The
showing
whole ship-to-ship combat thing.
Yeah, the ship to ship and being able to move between between space combat and ground combat, kind of on the fly. And the big ship that you get to make, you get to make the big ass ship with your friends, which I would never
It's Nito
complete.
Burrito.
Yeah.
Neato burrito.
No, I mean it was neat stuff. It's just for me, it was just kind of
Probably won't be playing most of it because it's also expensive.
yeah.
A lot of in-game materials. And it's supposed to be... One thing I am okay with is the fact that smaller groups have an easier... smaller clans have an easier time building stuff.
Yeah.
Are you a clan of 3 people? Okay, this is the cost requirement. Are you a clan of 500 people? All right, it's 6 times as pricey because, well, you have a crap ton more people.
Yep. Fair enough. It's the reason why, like, my dojo just never ended up being much. I, like, just put a few things that I wanted to put in there. But I'm literally just, like, a clan of one. So...
It's a lot of those.
Yeah. I'm just a clan of one. Sorry, I'm just playing by myself here. No one else wants to join this. No one else wants to be at this party. So...
Accurate.
Yeah. Anyway, at the Borderlands thing, there is the mission where you get to Terramorphous, and it's literally you, period, will, period, die. With Cromarax. In the second one where you deal with Terramorphous, it's you will die seriously. They make it very clear. This is a raid boss. It is not going to end well for you, and it really doesn't. It's really not good.
Well, at least they're being honest.
Yeah.
Post migration in progress.
Yeah. Well, it was, and it's still like, Cromarax is still like level 62, and it doesn't matter what level you are. Like you can go in if you happen to be at that point, and you're still level 40, and it doesn't matter. Cromarax is still level 62. It's 62, 63, something like that. So hey. I was like, maybe I could get over into that corner where it apparently glitches so that, that so it can't really hit you, and I can try to whittle them down. I was like, I couldn't even run to that corner without getting killed.
You call that cheating.
We call it playing
wrecked.
smarter.
We also call that getting wrecked.
All right, I'm enjoying this weapon far more than I expected to.
It's a giant cannon. What do you actually expect?
It's a BFG.
It's Warframe. I kind of expected little. I was like, okay, it's gonna be a big old shotgun that I run around with. No, it's explosive.
Oh, that's cool.
You can always throw your weapon at them like you do in when you reload certain weapons in Border.
TDR.
I really wish that was an option. Like, hey, you're out of primary ammo and secondary ammo, and you didn't bring a melee weapon.
Just chuck.
So you're just gonna swing at them with this.
Yeah. Well, yeah, but see, Alex, in the Borderlands 3, the TDR, they expanded upon the ideas of the TDR guns, so each one interacts differently. And sometimes when you throw them out, they are a little gun that's on legs, and it runs around shooting your enemies while it's reloading. So there's a thing. That's a TDR gun. There's that, and then there's another one where it like bounces up into the air and it like spins around and fires. Like, okay, I'm on board for these. All my entire loadout is just TDR. Well, no, I mean it's almost like it's unrealistic.
Almost like it's unrealistic.
But see, I don't
Not
think
at all.
Borderlands unrealistic? That's
Borderlands?
insane.
Yeah, no, I'm sure people play Borderlands for the, for the super hyper realism of it.
I do, actually. I like my rockets that shoot rockets.
I like my shotgun that shoots swords that explode.
Also,
well, technically speaking, I can't even pretend.
Sword explosion. I loved my sword
Sword explosion!
I got one question for you. Explosions?
That's not a knife. This is a sword that shoots knives.
Yeah, this is a sword that shoots knives. And you know what? And those knives explode when they hit things. Congratulations, you've reached peak Borderlands. Welcome.
It's a knife that shoots knives that shoots knives.
They don't have that one. Oh, damn.
It's new.
That's a new one? Oh, okay. I haven't heard about that. I gotta get on that. Anyway, James, I haven't heard from you. What are you playing right now?
Depends on what you mean by playing. Mostly I've been just writing and trying to stay off the games, but I discovered this new Minecraft mod pack that I decided to give a shot. And I'm kind of hooked. It's really good. It's
no.
You're trapped.
The Minecraft has trapped you. You went down the Minecraft rabbit hole.
Yeah, it's really quite good.
Nathan.
Thank you, Alex. It's a mine shaft.
Scott, I'm really mad to agree with you there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I hate you, but I agree with you.
I hate
What?
that I agree with you right now,
What?
but I do agree with you.
What was the mod pack?
It's called Feed the Beast Interaction, and so Feed the Beast does a lot of different mod packs that I really like. They did
Feed the
a
Beast, yeah,
stone,
Feed the Beast has some good ones.
yeah,
Mm.
and this is their most recent one, and it's fantastic. I haven't even gotten out of like the it's almost like a tutorial stage where you're like on a skyblock island and you're expanding and they're giving you all this different stuff. But it is probably one of my favorite mod packs I have ever played.
Mm.
Can we call
Cool
it
thing.
Skyblock Island just a Skyland?
You can, but you'd be wrong.
No, I'd be right.
We'll see what
I
you
guess
want.
you could.
You
You have
just.
to. It's not a Sky Island. It's just a Skyland.
I always had this big thing, like when I started playing Minecraft. It's like, can I get up to the cloud? And if I can actually sit on a cloud, can I just make my house on that cloud, so I can avoid monsters?
Oh,
No,
I wish
you
you
cannot.
could do that.
Yeah, that would have been pretty sweet. I think what I ended up doing the one time is I just I built a giant bridge out to the middle of a lake, and then I built like a little tower while I was there, and it's like, I don't see things getting to me very easily out here.
You
Just
can't do that anymore though because of the new updates they have. That's what I used to do too. I used
Oh.
to build out in the water. But with the new
Yeah.
updates, they have like water zombie variants, so that
Oh,
will actually
great.
come up at light at night. So they
Oh,
actually have
great.
ocean spawns and things.
Oh
now.
yes, the drowned.
Yeah.
Oh, well, thanks for spoiling my fun, Notch.
I don't even think it was his fault.
It probably
But you can blame
wasn't.
him anyways.
Yeah.
It
Yeah,
kind of is his fault.
he's to blame for all of Minecraft. Damn you, Notch. I'm just going to blame him. It's all on you from here on out. No, I don't think he actually has a lot to do with the final updates because I
Yeah,
think he thinks
He's
What
the
was
one
the
who sold
the
it.
new meme that Minecraft was just given to us by aliens?
Mm-hmm.
That's actually probably kind of accurate.
Oh yeah. And also features essentially aliens.
I mean, what else do you call those creepers?
Creepers,
I-
bad pigs.
A weird biology experiment gone wrong.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, very much
Those-
true.
oh, the zombie pigs? Yeah. That's a thing.
Zombie pigmen.
Sure. Yeah. See, I don't think I ever encountered zombie pigmen when I was playing.
That's because you probably never got to the Nether.
No. Oh. Actually, yeah, I think I kind of did. I found a portal at some point, and I was like, oh, where does this go? And all of a sudden, I'm in a whole other place.
You found. A
You were in
portal?
hell.
Yeah.
Literally.
Yeah, I found it in a thing. I don't remember exactly what I was playing. It was Minecraft, but it was like a scenario that was built for Minecraft, and you go through a certain level of stuff. It was like I think it was supposed to be like a little bit of a tutorial about like different steps that you take. But at the end of it, there was a portal door, and you go through the portal door, and all of a sudden you're in the Nether. I'm like,
Where are we going today,
Uh,
class? Strike the hell!
this is the
That's
worst
scary.
Magic School Bus episode ever. Miss
much.
Frizzle, where are we going now? The Nether,
Strike the
kids,
hell.
children. Make sure you keep a pal with you, because the Endermen are gonna get you.
I
Yeah,
thought it was
That's accurate.
yeah,
The
yeah.
end.
Oh yeah, the end.
Waiting
love-
for the end to come.
So currently, this party of individuals has a cannon, a flamethrower, and 2 normal weapons.
What are we considering normal if you have a cannon and a flamethrower?
Well,
I just want a bow. The bow was the only thing that really worked well for me.
really?
Yeah, because I did a
I'm-
power up bow shot. I took out 2 guys at one time, and it's silent. And so so the fun thing is, you take out the 2 guys, and the guy that's standing right next to them is like, I don't know what's going on.
Huh?
Huh?
Greg, Tim,
Yeah,
get your ass up.
the AI detection was shaky when I was playing Warframe. Like I literally
still
like
kinda is.
I was like literally on the side of this guy, like practically in front of him, and he's just like staring off into. And
Once you shoot a gun, it's all over.
Oh yeah, once you shoot a gun, that's why I always was like, get stealth guns. Just get stealth guns because they will not bother you at all.
I like
Just
that you call them stealth guns.
Yeah, they are stealth guns. They're silenced weapons. They're silenced
That
weapons.
doesn't make them stealth. That makes them quiet. Quieter.
But if I put a little ninja mask on top of the gun,
Then it's a.
It's a
massive
stealthier gun. But
it
it's
is
not
a
stealth gun.
stealthier gun. Yeah, it's a ninja gun. It's a ninja
Shoots-
Gundam.
Ninja Gundam.
Yes, it's a
It's a
ninja.
Gundam.
It's a ninja
Yes.
Gundam.
You know, if you have a gun on your gun,
Gundam.
it's just a. Hey, Nathan, if you have a gun on your gun, does it make a Gungan?
No, it just makes it excessive, and probably you're compensating for something.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Gun again is when you lose something for the 5,000th time.
I was
That's
thinking
true.
of Jar Jar Binks. Honestly.
No, I am familiar with what the Gungans in. No, the Gungans are just a giant mistake. I'm
Only
going-
Jar Jar was a mistake.
No, the Gungans were a
the
mistake.
Gungans were a mistake.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, they're funny and cute in their annoying kind of way, but you get
And
tired
they
of them after
destroyed
a
an
while.
entire droid army.
And they're kind of the reason why there's a galactic empire.
No, that's just Jar Jar.
but who spawned the Jar Jar of the world? The Gungans.
You know whose fault Jar Jar is? It's freaking
Qui-Gon Jinn.
Padme. She's the one who put him in power after she stepped down from the Senate. She's like, "Yep, no, you're the senator for Naboo now." Or no.
Listen, if it's real Star Wars, the truth is it's always a Skywalker's fault.
Yes.
I mean,
That's
she did
true.
marry a Skywalker, so she's technically counts.
Sure. I would say the real culprit was George Lucas.
That's also true.
Is
I
also
blame Satan.
yeah, I'm thinking George Lucas probably was a causality of that whole thing. Hey, look, we can make fun characters that kids are gonna like. Yeah, everyone's gonna hate this. It's just for and then also something fun for kids, deep political conversations. It's got something for everybody.
Honestly, 1, 2, and 3 shouldn't have existed,
Hey,
except
no,
not.
they're all fantastic.
They are really good, but and they shouldn't have come about except as like books.
No,
Like there's
they needed to
wonderful
be a
movies.
thing.
I honestly, 2 is one that I haven't seen, but I really want to because it sounds like it's probably the best out of all 3 of them. And
That's the
Clone
Clone Wars,
Wars.
right?
yeah,
Clone
Clone
Wars.
Wars.
Clone Wars.
Yeah.
Okay,
Attack of the
Clone Wars.
Clones.
The Clone Wars and the Clone Wars animated series are both really good. Also,
Yeah, they
I
are.
I like the entire Star Wars series, but only as an entire series of 6, because then it's just the epic tragedy of Anakin Skywalker.
Right.
Okay. Yeah.
And that's the thing. 1, 2, and 3 were all backstory, and I feel like other than as they don't serve a lot of.
They're not backstory, because they tell the story of Anakin, and the entire series is about Anakin.
That's fair. I guess I do look at it from a very 7, 8, 9 perspective, where it's as a whole, as rather than it's just the story of Anakin Skywalker,
Mm.
and then Disney came along and ruined it, which
I mean, Lucas was already ruining it himself. I mean,
Ye-
hello?
Yeah.
the books though, the books that came after 6 were actually really good. The Thrawn or whatever. Those were some of my favorites.
Oh, the Admiral Thrawn stuff.
That's
Yeah.
the extended universe. That's
Yeah.
no longer canon.
Yeah, EU.
It's
I'm
slowly
super
coming back.
disappointed.
I think you're seeing more and more of it kind of creep its way back in.
Slow creep.
It is definitely a slow creep because, well, they had the Darth Maul retcon again, but you also notice like in some of the games and some of the media they're doing more with like the KOTOR stuff. So like they're trying to bring the Knights of the Old Republic era stuff back into the fold.
Good.
And yeah, because that was like one of the best storylines. and it had gotten like wiped out. It's like, damn you! Don't take away my HK-47. That's the
I want
droid
to.
I need on that's a droid I need to see on a big screen at some point. If you're so insistent
No.
upon making more Star Wars trilogies, just make KOTOR, damn it. There's plenty of rich material for you to work with. But
No, there's not.
okay, agree to disagree where I'm right and you're wrong. But the problem the thing I think that was problematic is for me about the like original trilogy was, yes, it is about Anakin, like the start of Anakin, but I didn't really like Anakin as a character.
Anakin is
Yeah.
a great tragic character.
He's kind of a whiny brat through most of the prequels, though.
That's what sets him up to be awesome because he turns into Vader. It's a love story. Come on, guys.
It's a it's a very odd love story. Like
Only 'cause
I
he
have
kills
to
his wife.
it's like I love
Really
you
kills
so
his
much,
wife.
and now I'll just kill everybody to show you that I do.
He did everything for her.
The thing that's
Didn't you do that to show your love? Is that
yeah,
just
all
me?
the time. I love doing that.
It might just be us.
Ah, shit.
The thing that always confused me about like the new movies with Kylo Ren is like, did Kylo Ren not actually understand Darth Vader's character arc when he was like, grandfather, like they keep pulling me to the light side, I need to go to the dark. Do you not understand your grandfather was like, oh yeah, dark side is stupid at the end?
I think that's the point of Snoke, though, is that he's luring him away with stories of his father's grandeur and not telling him the whole
Oh.
truth.
Like he's
Yeah,
trying
he
to,
totally was the coolest and evilest of all time. Yeah,
Right.
but you
definitely.
But you do have to think, though, like, but he did train with Luke. You imagine that Luke may have given him stories of his father and that whole thing where he redeemed himself to the light at the end. So,
It's the
probably
whole
not.
snake
They
in the
like
garden
to-
thing, though.
They like to leave out a lot of information about things. Like Ben
Hmm.
Kenobi didn't tell him that his dad was actually Darth Vader. Just like, yeah, no, his dad died. I killed him.
yeah. They always leave out a really critical piece of information that probably could have saved a lot of people a lot of time in the end if they had just come clean at the
Yeah.
start.
Is this every plot of secrecy ever?
Yeah, pretty much. Why did you keep this a secret? For plot devices. This movie would be way too short if I told you at the front. Sorry. But now I'm missing a hand, and I would have really liked to know this before I went down that. It's fine, we'll just make you a robot hand. Your father had one too. Oh, there's another secret for you. Hey, Luke. Hope you're enjoying your character backstory. Damn it. No. Now teach your nephew how to wield the power. Oh, I had a momentary lap of darkness. I guess now he's an evil Jedi. I shouldn't have done that.
Whoopsies.
You know what? Screw this. Fuck this noise. I'm going off to a planet to drink some milk. I'm done with
right.
this Jedi shit. Sorry.
Is it the milk of human kindness?
No, it's from a space. It's like a giant green space cow. You haven't seen that movie.
Space cows.
But
Oh god, I forgot about that.
But I was kind of like, I kind of understood Luke in Last Jedi. It's kind of like, you know what? If I had been battling the forces of darkness for all that time, and then I had one momentary lapse, and apparently it just destroyed everything I built, I'd be like, you know what? Fuck the Force. I'm done with this shit. I'm out of here.
Bullshit on me.
Yeah, exactly. I have a moment of weakness. It happens to be the moment where the destroyer of everything wakes up and like, oh god, no, I guess I'm a dark side Jedi anyway, and then destroys his whole temple. I'd be like, you know what? I don't need the Force anymore. This Force sucks. I don't care about this.
This little kid, I looked at him like, he's terrifying. No, I shouldn't do that. But he saw me go, oh, I might have to kill him, and immediately killed 17 children.
Yeah.
I really should have killed him.
Yeah, it's like, oh, maybe it was maybe that is something I should have considered and the thing is like so many people malign the beginning where like Rey hands him the lightsaber and he like chucks it over his shoulder. And I'm sitting there thinking to myself, actually by the end of that movie, I totally understand Luke's point of view. If you had just like gone off to a corner of a galaxy, you didn't want to be found. You've been there for 30 years because you're like, you know what, the Force is stupid. I don't know why I even bother. And then some mysterious girl shows up with your father's lightsaber, like the Force is calling you back. You'd be like, God damn it, I don't want to do this again.
You're like, how about the fuck not?
Yeah.
This bullshit again.
With this
You got the wrong Jedi. Sorry.
Why do I keep having to get dragged into this crap? I don't know
You
why.
fucks, just leave me alone.
Why is Luke so grumpy? Because it's been 30 years and he's tired of this. It makes sense to me. Now it's like, oh god, now I gotta get back into the action. Fine, let me show you how I can force project onto a battlefield. Isn't that pretty amazing? So yeah, don't fuck with me. Oh yeah, peace out. Bye. And then uses like the Han Solo line. See you later, kid. I'm out of here. Don't try to find me. Bye. Fuck you,
yeah,
Kylo.
He's totally dead.
Yeah. But see, I was like, oh, but Kylo doesn't really know he's dead, so now he gets to be the boogeyman for the First Order. They're like, oh god, what if Luke shows up? It's like, yeah, that's
Please.
Luke's last little jab. It's fun for him. But now he gets to be like a Force ghost. He'll come back as a Force ghost.
Which is pretty neat.
Yeah,
Luke
it's
does?
pretty neat. I
Luke
think
is still alive, isn't he?
Sure, Alex. Sure, Luke
Yeah.
is still very alive. He's on a
I haven't
planet
seen
upstate.
any of the movies, okay?
And he's on a planet upstate called Octo, full of green cows that have milk and some helpful little characters that like to go along, and a bunch of porgs. There are so many porgs in this wonderful planet upstate where we took Luke. I hope
I
that
feel
you're
like I'm just being patronized right now.
no,
You are.
not
Continue.
at all. I'm totally
Please,
I have not
serious.
seen any of the new movies.
I've seen all the movies. I even saw Solo, not in the theater, because I was like, but I saw it later.
Same.
Yep, it was the one I saw Rogue One in the theater, but I did not see Solo. And now I remember why.
Yeah, it
know.
wasn't that great, was it?
It was not spectacular. No, it was kind of boring and kind of pointless.
You're sitting there like, why do I care about this child?
Yes, exactly.
You don't.
I get it. This is how Han Solo met Chewie, and now this is how he got his blaster, and this is him, and he did the Kessel Run, and yeah, I know.
I'm kind of annoyed that this all happened within the span of 3 days.
Yeah, like all of the stories happen in 3 days. How did we do that? I met Lando Calrissian, and Lando had a ship, and I tricked him out of his ship, and then, like, he tricked me back, and yeah, this whole thing happens in like a very short span, and then like he gets a heart, and he's like, yeah, I'll give it to what's gonna become the Resistance, and here for the rebellion, I guess, and then by the time
Wait,
like
this is also a shotgun? Oh boy!
Yeehaw.
direct quote from Solo, by the way. This is a shotgun?
Seems like an accurate quote,
Yep,
honestly.
certainly is. And then Han Solo is like, oh yeah, the rebellion. I guess I'll do the right thing. And then by the time New Hope comes along, he's back to being like, screw everything. I don't care. I don't care. I'm doing it for me. Okay, but I know that that's not true. Even Chewie does. He was there. You lie. I liked Rogue One. Rogue One was interesting.
Rogue One.
Rogue One.
The Baroque, the woke one. Yes.
The woke.
Woke one.
The woke one. The woke one. The one that dared to say, "Hey, what if we
people
like killed?
died?
What if like literally everyone died at the end of this film?"
What
Everyone
if our
does
main
die.
characters were actually supposed to die, and nobody cared about them because they're not Skywalkers?
Yeah, which I was kind of like, well, that kind of makes sense because you never hear about Rogue One in any of the other movies.
Yes, you do.
Do
yeah.
you?
Yes, at the
They talk-
beginning of the first ever released movie, they talk about how a lot of people died to get this message to them.
Right, that's the whole
Right.
point.
Right. I guess what I meant is you never like meet any members of Rogue One that were in the other movies.
Yeah, we
Like-
figured out why though.
Yeah, because they ain't around. Like, yeah. But again, that was like, yeah, okay. From a continuity standpoint, I think you kind of had to do that, didn't you? You kind of had to make sure that people just didn't make it out of that. But that was fine. That was like a Star Wars story where it's like, oh, okay, that fills in a couple gaps. That's why there was just an exhaust tube that was exposed. Purpose-built mistake.
Not,
Purpose-built flaw.
not enough funding.
Not enough funding. No, because the engineer that actually built it didn't really like the Empire and built a fatal flaw
they
into the
they
Death
could
Star.
have put a lot bigger flaws into it than like no like heat threshold.
I think the thing was he needed to make it small enough that they wouldn't necessarily notice that it was a flaw.
I mean, they need more than one engineer. This is where the Empire fucked up. Okay.
Well, this is true. This is true.
You don't have the one engineer. You have someone else overlook the plans and they're building it.
And
Be
if
like, hey, what's
if you're gonna have the one engineer, make sure that they don't bear a personal grudge against you for things you did to
They
their
don't
family.
hold you and your entire they don't hold your entire empire responsible for the deaths of their family.
Yeah, you might want to make sure that this is why the Empire was always stupid. They make bad decisions.
Yeah.
Yeah. Let's pull all our money and resources into this giant ass space laser.
And,
That seems
you would
good.
think that Palpatine would have more sense in that since he, waited all those years to get his revenge on the Jedi. You'd think he would actually have some patience and not just be like, yeah, let's build it now. No, you can wait until the plans are all correct. Yeah, that works.
Palpatine is playing like I guess a longer game. maybe he was thinking beyond that. Because
no, Plagueis the Wise is playing a longer game.
Plagueis the Wise is playing. I don't know.
Have you heard the story of Plagueis the Wise?
No, I have not heard the story of Plagueis the Wise.
Oh God.
Who is Plagueis the Wise?
Oh dear.
We have
my.
two people that have not heard the story of Plagueis the Wise.
Oh God. Why are you doing this to me?
Is this the one? Is he the guy who supposedly taught Darth Sidious and people was proposing was who Snoke was?
I don't think he's Snoke because he would be way older than Sidious.
Yeah, but Sidious could live forever. That was part of the deal. The
No.
dark side of the Force extends your lifespan, but it turns you into a monster.
No, that's not necessarily true. Plagueis could live forever, but not also in the
Also,
form.
wasn't Pelagius' big old technique that he could keep other people alive, but he got himself fucking murdered?
I don't actually remember. I know he could keep himself alive, but he could not do it in a physical body. He had to transfer his soul or something like that to a vessel, which was an object, so a phylactery kind of deal.
That's weird.
I don't know how intelligent this Plagueis the Wise actually is.
I mean, he's not dead.
He's got a high wisdom score, not a high intelligence score.
There you go.
Fair enough.
I can live
Okay.
forever. I'm a plant.
Okay, but now here's the question: where was Plagueis the Wise during like the original trilogy?
I believe Sidious killed him, but like not actually.
Well,
really
then
killed him
how
because
is
of
he?
Seven.
But he's not
That's
dead.
He was immune to death. Well, no, wait, aging. He was immune to aging.
But I thought that the whole thing was that the Sith had like a law of two. Like there was always a master and an apprentice.
Hence
So if
why?
And the apprentice always kills the master.
Hence
yeah, but if the
why
master's
he's
not
dead.
actually dead, because he's
I mean,
immune
that
to
happens.
death.
Okay, let's put it this way: there is Sidious at this point, and then there is Count Dooku, who's Darth Tyrannus, and then there was still at this point, who's using Ventress as an assassin, not
Okay.
a Sith because she wasn't a Jedi, but she was.
What was that time? And then Dooku trained his brother.
And then Maul
I mean, not
was
Dooku.
still
Maul, yeah.
Maul was still alive at this point. So there's Maul, and he trained his brother Savage. Yeah. So the law of two is kind of not like a law.
It's not like an automatically enforced rule. It's more of a, this is the law they try to follow.
Yeah.
Oh, it's kind of a fast and loose rule.
It's the Sith. Do they really follow rules?
Not
The Sith
really.
have very strange philosophies that don't make sense most of the time.
You know, Palpatine, Darth Sidious was kind of like lawful evil because he was the law and he
yeah.
was evil.
Yeah. Yeah.
He was the Senate. Okay, guys.
Right.
I am the
But like
Senate.
it's one of those
I
things
am the Senate.
when you
I
when you
wanna
really
make a meme that's kind of like the just do it meme, the do it meme or whatever it was that's going around right now. Check
Mhm.
boxes, except do you know who I am? And it's like I am Marcellus Wallace, or I am the Senate, or I am Iron Man.
Mhm.
That's the thing.
That would be sweet.
I'm Dirty Dan.
No, this is Patrick.
What? Wow.
Stop calling here.
Yeah. Yeah. I like the Sith, if you really think about it, have a pretty stupid philosophy. Like, because they're always
Listen,
trying.
Thanos did nothing wrong.
Thanos did. Well, at least Thanos had some semblance of a plan. I don't even know what the Sith's end goal is.
Where
kill
is
the Jedi,
domination?
Yeah,
kill the Jedi, rule the galaxy.
kill the Jedi, rule the galaxy. But what do they get out of that besides
World
the whole...
domination.
World domination.
Again, that's...
What
But
do you get out of ruling the
but
galaxy?
world-
Everything. It's all yours.
but world domination
That's-
in a system where the student always keeps killing the master, and you know, it's world domination, but with eating your own head continually while you're trying to get world domination, and like constantly, cutting off the head of your organization nonstop as new generations come along and undermining each other at every single turn in order to get to world domination.
That's just how you do it correctly.
Apparently not, because it's not like it's worked for them at all. And you sit there and think to yourself, like, okay, well, what are the benefits of being a Sith over a Jedi? It's like, oh, you don't have to worry about the rules. No, the Sith have a whole set of rules too. It's just that their rules are kind of stupid. And it's the consolidation of power. And it's like, okay, well, what about, like, well, you can have emotions, I guess, but then your emotions continually lead you down paths where you end up killing everything that you didn't want to
And
kill in
everyone
the
you
first
love.
place. And everybody that you love. So
See, the
that's
Jedi
kind of a
just
useful
forbid you
thing.
to love. The Sith make you kill them.
See, and But then even then, it's like, well, the Jedi actually still do have emotions. That's been pretty well documented because they do like fall in love and they get married and stuff.
They do not.
Yes.
No, that's forbidden.
Well,
Yeah, but
then someone
are
didn't
ones
tell a
that
lot
do
of
it.
them. Yeah, some of them
Yeah.
did. They didn't tell a lot of them then, because, yeah. But then so the Sith are like, oh, but yeah, we don't want to be emotional, but oh, the Jedi are already that, so I still don't see the real like, I don't see like the benefits package they lay out in front of prospective Sith, and it's
I will
like,
give you power to do the thing you want to do, and then no one's allowed to tell
We-
you the thing you want to do is wrong.
We have-
That's pretty convincing.
we have an amazing healthcare system until we kill you. Okay,
You get great dental until you until you are obliged to kill me. In which case, I am allowed to break your teeth. We will
Yes.
fix them if you survive.
Yes,
We can survive getting our limbs chopped off.
yeah,
Wait, why is that? Is that a common problem? Yes.
yes, it certainly
Only if you're a
is.
Skywalker.
Is there? A,
That depends. We're looking at your DNA test. You are only 0.65% Skywalker,
You
which
lose a
means it's
pinky.
highly unlikely for you.
you lose a pinky. That's about what it amounts to.
You might lose a finger.
Yeah, you might lose a finger. Not a very important one. Don't worry about it.
You won't be able to flip people off with your left hand. I hope you don't mind.
Yes, exactly. Basically, have you ever seen Monty Python? You don't have to worry about going full Black Knight. You can go partial Black Knight on this particular thing. Wait, is that something that normally happens with, well, hazard pay? Oh, I get hazard pay? No, we don't have that kind of economy. You don't really get paid.
Hazard pay is when we pay someone to put you into a hazard.
Yes.
Like a Sarlacc pit.
Yes.
Yes, it's like
That's
a Sarlacc pit. What
quite
happens in a
hazardous.
Sarlacc pit?
Exactly like a Sarlacc pit.
What happens in the Sarlacc pit? Oh, you get digested over 1,000 years. Is that
Or
a
you
common problem?
escape because-
Yes, it absolutely is.
It's not as common as you think. I mean, you can escape if you've got a jetpack.
Yeah,
Like
see,
backpack with jets like Boba the Fett.
that was always the thing for me with the Sarlacc pit. It's like, well, if it takes that long, couldn't I kind of climb out unless I'm real far in there? I'm pretty sure I have a little bit of time. But
I think you're just supposed to be in such horrendous pain that you don't want to, I guess.
right. Well, then there was like Darth Sion who was always in pain. And so
That's true.
and so I don't really know.
Existence pain. Maybe he was a Meeseeks.
No, he was not. He was definitely not a Meeseeks. He talked so very little. In fact, I don't know if Sion said more than like a few words in the whole thing. But no, Sion was like always in constant pain, and he was kind of in constant pain to the fault of his master. Because I think Traya was partially responsible for that.
Did
But-
he put backpacks with jets on them?
No.
Oh.
No, he didn't. He was like very cut up. His body was like pieced together.
He was cut up about it.
Yes, he was. He was not able to take advantage of the full Sith healthcare plan. Unfortunately. Or
The
maybe
Sith
he
care
was
plan.
and that was the therapy. Not sure. It was Sion, and then there was Nihilus, and Nihilus was just like, he like, I don't remember what Nihilus did. He ate hope, something like that, and he was like a void. He was like a matrix, into like where light goes, and then you get to take his mask when you defeat him, and I guess wear it around because that seems like a fun thing to do. But anyways. And the two of them eventually betray Darth Traya, because of course they do. And then Traya gets all angry about it. And kind of fools you into going and destroying them for her. By being your companion that you didn't know about, but seemed always kind of like shady and creepy in the background. And always wondered, like, yeah, you seem like you're totally going to betray me at the end of it all. Oh, yeah, all right, well. Not like I could have seen that one coming. But yeah, none of them have a very good, yeah, I would think that none of them have a very good, like, health outlook. It doesn't seem like cardio is going to fix all of their problems. That's why Darth Vader's in the medical suit the entire time.
Well,
You would just think that if they had that technology, they could actually fix him for the long term, but they don't.
we have
But
the technology. We can fix him. We can make him stronger, faster,
He-
better than he was.
he is the million credit man,
And less dead.
and less
100% less dead.
and very less dead. That would be very good.
25% less dead
25% acceptable
25%.
amount.
Yes.
is unacceptable or is acceptable.
It is completely acceptable.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
I'd like to be 25% more dead.
I can do that.
Sweetness.
I just need an address.
You're too close for me to feel comfortable.
Out,
giving you my-
out of curiosity, Alex, what 25% would you prefer? If we put you into like quarters, is there a quarter of that
yeah,
thing
just
that?
keep the torso.
Oh, okay. You don't need
All right, good.
you don't need a torso.
25% more dead is only like a little bit of limb loss.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Well, you know what you do with 25% is you just get rid of the torso, and you install like the little box that Krang can be in, and then Krang just controls your actions. After that,
You become Krang. That's a decent trade.
you become Krang. I mean, let's face it. Hey, you're halfway to Sithville at that point. You're in great shape. Krang
Not
would
really.
love to be a Sith
You're
if they were in the
good
same.
shape, but you're definitely on the way.
You are definitely on the way. You know that Krang would have been a Sith Lord so fast. Shredder is definitely the analog for Vader in that scenario. They are very similar. And then, yeah, and so Krang would pretty much be the Sidious in this situation. That makes sense. He kind of sounds the same and looks the same. Krang as a model looks pretty much like Sidious's face. It's close. Go back. Go to the videotape, damn it. I swear, if you think about it, one of these borrowed from the other. Either the Ninja Turtles borrowed from Star Wars or Star Wars borrowed from the Ninja Turtle. It's somewhere along the line.
I think I want to say Star Wars was first, but I don't know, and that's a problem. So now I have to figure this out.
Yeah. I think...
We're about to have a history lesson in shredding.
Yeah, I
Alright,
think...
Star Wars was released
86.
May 25th, 1977.
77.
77? Shit, I was way off.
Yeah, no, it was a 70s movie. Mutant Ninja Turtles would be... Okay, yeah.
Oh my god, 1984.
Oh my god.
1984.
Oh god,
Oh,
that is close. That is too close for comfort. Hey, it's
Yeah.
appeared in an American comic book published by Mirage Studios in 1984 in Dover, New Hampshire.
Oh yeah, by the way, that's
Yep.
local to me. Like,
Yep.
crazy local.
Yep.
Where? No, I gotta know how close that is to me.
Yeah.
It's 30 minutes from me.
Did you really want to say that when I promised to make you 25% more dead?
Maybe.
Now,
Just need a 30-minute range. Let's go.
Now- but Krang actually first appears in 1987, so he would still be after the first appearance of the Emperor.
Yeah,
from
okay,
the
so we're good
movies.
here.
So yeah. If anybody, Ninja Turtles borrowed from.
Well, most likely.
Yeah. Because then I was starting to think, though, but if Krang really appeared early, it is possible that the Emperor, who didn't really factor in until like the last, like to the Last Jedi.
Evil has a similar flavor no matter where you go.
It's
Yeah.
probably ranch.
I would not want to put ranch dressing on Krang. I don't know what you're talking about.
No, the flavor. Evil's flavor is ranch.
Evil's
probably
flavor
blue cheese.
is ranch?
Do you just hate ranch?
No, it's probably blue cheese. You're right.
No, no.
No. You know,
What an
actually, no,
odd
that makes
thought. What flavor dressing is evil? It's gotta be Catalina, right?
No.
I kind of sworn it was spicy.
Yeah.
That's a ghost pepper.
No, you know what? It's light Italian. It's like I have no substance there, but it still probably has like sugar in it. I'm trying to do something healthy, and I can't. I literally have seen like light Italian dressings that have high fructose corn syrup in them, and I'm like, what
Wow.
the hell? Wow.
This is sugar.
Yeah. I don't know why. It still has a lot of calories in it. Doesn't seem like it's very light to me.
It
But
doesn't weigh as much.
well, okay. If we're wow. Okay, they're really taking that literally now. Oh my goodness. I miss Krang. It's a weird thing
I
to
don't.
say.
I'm glad he's burning in whatever hell I put him in.
Probably the nether.
Did Krang ever successfully die in literally any interpretation? I think
We can only wish.
yeah, it's poor
Successfully die.
successfully die. I mean, I guess villains never really die.
That's not true.
How do you successfully die?
Sometimes you fail at it spectacularly.
Yeah, roll for death. You critically failed. You don't die. Yeah, no, what you did, no, that's just when you're playing like Overlord or your necromancers. You failed
Actually,
to die.
I'm gonna completely derail this for a second. Have any of you seen a crap guide to Dungeons and Dragons?
I've seen it posted about it. I have
No.
not watched it.
I'm just gonna put the GIF in interactive because it's great. I just love this person's entire setup, and they're just like, here's the GIF I put, a GIF of what I put in all my things. Here you go.
That,
Perfect derailment done.
that's accurate though. Of Dungeons and Dragons.
Right?
That's yeah. I mean,
Oh, it's the Monster Hunter World thing.
Yes, it's the Wiggler.
Yeah.
I don't think I got to that part in that game.
It's because you're terrible at the game.
No, actually legit, I am not good at that game. That's why I didn't play it for a long time. For very long. I was like, yeah, this game is not for you just have to explain to me what weapon I should be using, because I don't want to have... Let me take all the weapons out at one time so I could just try them all, and then I could figure out which one's working. No, you can only take, like, one. I don't want to. I want to take all of them. You gave me, like, 15 weapons. I don't know which one's working for me.
All of them.
You aren't picking the biggest one, and therefore you were wrong.
I think I took out the heavy crossbow. I was like, yeah, this should work.
Ugh.
That really does.
I'm not a
it.
fan of the ranged weapons there.
Yeah, well, I mean, the
I
first
was always, I'm just gonna carry a hammer. I'll be back. I'm gonna
yeah.
go beat the crap. I'm just gonna slap the crap out of this monster. I'll be back in an hour.
Yeah, I think I tried one of the hammers, and I was like, it was just very, very slow for me. And then I think I tried a faster weapon. I think I tried the fists that you get, like the giant gauntlets, and I was like, rrr. But then I was so close. They kept hitting me back. I was like, I don't like this either.
How dare they hit you back?
When I'm trying to, why won't you just let me kill you without consequence? Yeah, unfortunately, that didn't happen. But
No, murder must come with at least some consequence. If that consequence ruined clothing, I'm okay with it.
All I want to do is kill you so I can study you. Like we always do with monster adventures.
I'm just here to study you by killing you first.
I'm just here to stab you.
Yeah. No, I don't want to observe you while you're alive. It's so much easier to observe you once you're dead. This is how science works. Yeah, Monster Hunter's a weird game like that. But
Yes, that's about right.
yeah. You never got around to playing Monster Hunter, did you?
Monster Hunter World, no.
Oh. Did you play any of the Monster Hunter games?
I used to have one for PS2, I think.
Oh, okay. Probably International, I want to say.
What?
Monster Hunter International? I think that was one of them for that era. I knew I played one Monster Hunter earlier, but I can't remember which one it was. But it was a long time ago. Right. Now I have to comb through a crap guide to D&D is pretty much what you're saying. Oh, hey, that's on Reddit. So
Yes, I said that.
Oh.
I said that I've seen it on Reddit.
Oh, okay. That's cool.
I'm glad Nathan listens to me.
I just tune you out, that's all.
Who are you?
Who am I? Where did I come from? Where did I go?
Where did you go? Straight to hell!
Mm-hmm.
Straight there again.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I'm out of bourbon, and and I have to do wedding ceremonies tomorrow, so I am going to head out.
All right.
And drink more bourbon?
I
Possibly.
probably also need to head out as well. It's starting
Mhm.
to get late over here, and I have to be up in the morning.
You
Some
have to
people
be up in
wake
the
up
morning?
It's
Yes,
unfortunate.
at like 7, and
is
I've
wrong
not
with
been
you
getting
people?
sleep.
What is wrong with you people in your mornings? It's disgusting.
I agree.
Mornings are disgusting. They should be
It is
banned.
time for rest.
That's,
I agree.
Getting arrested? What?
Let's hope.
Arrested Development, Alex. Obviously.
No. Nope.
Yeah. Yeah.
On that note, James and Mr. Drunk Paul.
Yes. Thank you for joining us. You
was
get
a
your
pleasure.
rest now. Oh yes, always a pleasure to have you with us. Thanks for the.
Adios. I will stab you.
Have
Have a good one.
We'll see
a
you.
good night, guys.
Bye.
Night, guys.
Night. Oh well, see, Alex.
And
That wasn't. Yeah, that was as much as a train wreck as we thought it was going to be, right?
that's not the train that we were talking about.
You wanted an
I'm
actual.
yawning.
You wanted an actual train.
I wanted to wreck all things that are
Yes.
train-like.
That's fair. Yeah. No, it's still late for us too, so we'll probably be finishing up soon here. So what did we learn on this episode, Alex?
Do not trust a Sith.
I kind of already knew that.
Yeah, but we have to reinforce it. So
You know what? Well, no, that's true. Sometimes it's good to put that back in people's minds. Because, sometimes people are a little curious about, like, hey, what's this Sith thing that I'm talking about? Every generation or so, you have to come back. You have to say, no, Sith bad. No Sith.
always look on the bright side of Sith, except don't actually do that.
Can you imagine if Monty Python made a Star Wars movie?
No, but I can imagine if Mel Brooks did.
Well, yeah. It becomes awesome. Use the Schwartz, Luke. Use the Schwartz. Oh man, one of my favorite parts of Spaceballs is when they had John Hurt in the bar, and the alien erupts from his stomach, and he's like, "Oh no, not again."
Oh, that was John Hurt?
That was John Hurt. It's literally the same thing that happened to him in Alien.
Didn't realize it was John Hurt.
Yeah. And you know what's actually interesting is I had read something about that where, like, that was, like, right around the same time that Alien came out. So he would have filmed those scenes, like, right next to each other when he did it in the actual movie and when he did it in so, like, they had to film that before the movie had actually come out. So that must have been interesting. Yeah. They must have known. That was good. Yeah, no, that was legitimately John Hurt. They had some really good cameos in that. Rick Moranis is the best version of Darth Vader, though.
Dark Helmet.
Dark Helmet, yeah. Let's face it.
Yes, Rick Moranis is my favorite, and I'm sad that he hasn't been doing movies in years.
It's real, yeah, it is sad. He's been doing more like albums.
Has he?
Yeah, I guess he actually did. God, a couple of years ago, he did like I don't think it was a comedy album. I think it was like a musical album. He did.
That makes sense.
Yeah. He seems to like that. It does make me very sad, because the giant space maid was. How do we do it? We just suck up the atmosphere because we don't have enough atmosphere. Like their plan, like I understood it. It's like it made more sense than just blowing it up with a giant death ray. You know, at least they were trying to get.
They would have gotten resources in the form of.
Right. In the form of resources. Well, see, that's the thing is that like I felt like if you really want to look at it, the Spaceballs, kind of had a more rational plan than the Empire. So, hey, I guess that's what I learned tonight, is that actually the Spaceballs had a much more cohesive plan for what they wanted than the Empire did. Good job, Mel Brooks. I really wish you made at least one more movie.
Oh well.
Yeah. I don't think that's gonna happen. Why not?
No.
We need something.
You retired from that years ago.
And yet I don't care. I still want it. I still want it, Mel. I know he moved on to like Broadway. He decided that he wanted to do like Broadway plays more than anything. Fine. Do your producers and your Young Frankenstein on Broadway, be. Why am I being mean to Mel Brooks now? I'm a dick.
I don't know. Mel Brooks is great.
Mel Brooks is great. That's why I'm being mean, because I want more Mel Brooks, and I don't feel like I'm getting enough of. I'm not getting enough Mel Brooks for my liking.
We watched the History of the World Part 2.
Yeah. Did they ever do Part 2?
No.
I thought, yeah, that's what I'm saying. They only did Part 1.
Exactly.
He was in an interview, and he was even talking about, like, where people were saying, why don't you do History of the World Part 2? And he's like, and I probably could have, and it probably would have made a lot of money. I just didn't do it. And I'm like, you just listed a bunch of reasons why it would have been a good idea. Would have come out for that. How could I not? I was even willing to sit through like Dracula Dead and loving it. I'll take whatever I can get. My God. Not the strongest Mel Brooks film, but, you know. I still love the fact that, like, every night, Mel Brooks and Carl Reiner, like, eat dinner together and, like, watch a Jason Bourne film. It's super true. Mel Brooks was like, we love watching movies where at some point someone says, secure the perimeter.
Seems accurate.
I was like, that's perfect. I love that. And I love the fact that, like, they go out to eat. They go out to eat to the restaurants, and once in a while they will do like a sketch to just amuse each other in the restaurant. And I'm like, it must be fascinating for people sitting around them at that time. Where they But, yeah.
Yeah.
But I will never get History of the World Part 2. And I feel bad about that.
Instead.
They should have part 10. You know what's going to happen is that they'll end up hiring like Weiss and Benioff to do that because they have enough rich source material to work with that they could probably write it and take all the credit for it. Oh,
Makes sense.
because he did such a good job on the end of Game of Thrones.
There you go.
Oh,
Except not. I feel like that's sarcasm.
yeah. Yeah, you're one of the people that is not really familiar with Game of Thrones. Just trust me,
No.
that is sarcasm. Anywho, anywho,
Who any? Who any?
who Eddie? I'm not getting into another bit with you. If that's a dad joke, I'm not happy. Do you want to do one dad joke before we leave so you can feel complete?
No, I don't got it. I can't do dad jokes on command. They just have to come to me.
Do the dad joke, Alex. Make it happen.
No. Now
Okay.
you've ruined it. I can never do a dad joke again.
Oh darn. I didn't plan on that at all.
Get wrecked, son.
What a horrible outcome to this evening.
How terrible.
Yeah. All right. Thank you, everybody, for listening to the show. Thank you to James and to Paul for coming by and talking a little bit about goings-on, stuff that we're playing, a little bit about stuff that we saw at GenCon. Oh, and thank you to DC for telling us about some of the stuff that is going on at GenCon.
I think you're John Jacob Jingleheimer Schmidt.
That place, too. You got to be careful of the John Jacob Jingleheimer Schmidt Con. That's going to be great. I really hope
you
that's...
need to be careful calling things SchmidtCon.
Yes, you have to be gone. SchmidtCon is a great place, though. It's a wonderful place. It's like Tahiti. What you got to do is, we got to make that up here. We'll call it SchmidtCon up here. And
We'll just call it ConCon. We'll do it in Connecticut.
ConCon and do it in Connecticut.
Mhm.
That would be fun. I think there is actually there's a Comic-Con I think that they do in Connecticut. It's like the East Coast Connecticut. The
I
East
believe
Coast
it's called
Comic-Con?
Kineticon.
That sounds right. It's actually I think that's a tabletop because we do still get like stuff from them saying, "Hey, would you like to come to Connecticut for this?" And I'm like, that's a drive. But I think we still do, like, the actual Delve account still gets notifications about, like, the Connecticut conference that they do and stuff like that.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, you've seen it. It's a thing. We get it for a lot of the conferences. It's just that we don't we don't go to them.
We don't do things with people and stuff.
Doing stuff with people just seems like a lot.
It's a lot of work.
It's a whole thing.
It's a whole experience.
Yeah, you don't want a whole experience. All right, everyone. Thank you for joining us. We can actually stop streaming now because we're making no sense.
We don't ever really make sense, but that's okay.
And we also make far less sense by the end of this. So there's something. Thank you for joining us on Delve Live. We will see you next time. Thank you for watching. And no dad jokes, huh? Okay.
Nope. I
Bye.
told you I can't do them on command. They just have to be there and be square.
You cannot destroy the art that is the dad joke. This is
Nope. It's a.
you
It's
can't
that thing.
force
It's people are like, "Hey, tell
the
me."
art.
It's like when someone says, "Give me a pickup line" or "Give me a joke." I'm like, "No, I can't just give you a joke willy nilly. It just has to it has to make sense."
Hey, sing this
That's
song now.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's a hard thing to do. Hey, act. I don't want to act right now. Act.
It's a cursed acting talent.
Hey, do that character that you do. Now. On command.
Anywho,
All right.
good night, everybody.
Good night. Bye.